Hey guys, how are you going? Can you hear me? How are you going? Can you hear me? I imagine that means a yes. Alright. G'day guys. Alright, hang on. I tried to hotkey this. Hang on. Alright. Okay, here we go. Yep. Hello. G'day guys. How are you? Oh, hang on. Where's the chat? G'day guys. Hang on, I'm trying to figure out the chat here. La 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 la. I'm also trying to figure out how I got rid of my other monitor. Like here, I'll give you a little tour. Hang on. So basically, you see me. All right, I'm in my recording booth. Right, this is where I do all the stuff. So, that was pretty accurate, just like 10 years younger. Freddie Mercury. As in one of my role models and heroes. Yeah, I'll take that as a compliment. Yeah, cheers, man. Okay, so quick tour. Sorry, I'm just getting the wire. Hang on. So, right. So here's me. Hello. And here's what I see when I'm looking at you guys. So, monitor, obviously. All right. I've got this is going to be my second monitor for today. Because, yeah, I'll show you around. So if Freddie Mercury joined the Marines, holy shit, that makes me sound like I'm actually fit. So that's nice. Thanks, man. So this is going to be my second monitor for today because last time I used to stream with you guys, I used to use a second monitor. Like I'd push this one up. I'm not going to do it because it's going to make everything fuck up. So I used to have this because I've got this on a swinging arm here, which is attached to the side of the booth. Nothing fancy, it's literally just bolted in straight through the insulation and the noise treatment. And what happens is, oh, look, there you guys are. Wait, there you go. And so what happens is, usually I push that up and I had a second monitor here that I actually got a friend of mine who's a doctor, and I went to his doctor's surgery and traded him 1 kilogram of dried mango that we'd grown and dried. Too much information, right? But so we took the mango, I gave him the mango, took the monitor. So it's an old doctor's surgery monitor, and that usually goes there. But the reason I took it out was once I stopped streaming and went back to doing voiceover. The phone is what? Is so valid. Yeah, yeah. Like, why not? Why not? Once I got rid of once I stopped streaming for a while and I realized I wasn't going to be streaming for a while, I was like, wait, why have I got a monitor in here? Like, I never use a second monitor. So I took that out and I was able to move everything down. Because when I used to stream to you guys, I'd have to move this right up to there near the fan. And the problem there was I'd have to be like looking, like I'd be like, looking up all the time. So this was amazing. Like, it got to go back to normal for a little while. If we keep on streaming, I'm going to have to figure something out. But what else is there? What else is there? This is my microphone. I love my microphone. I know I've talked to you guys probably about my microphone before. Yeah, mango. Yeah, mango. Yeah, we grow lots of mango. We have about like, I used to count, but like we used to grow over like 200 species of fruit trees. I think we're down to about 170. I took some out because I didn't like all of them. You couldn't do without at least 2 mirrors. Oh, hey, Mirix. Hey, man. Yo, I see you. Well, I don't see you, but good to see you. Thanks for coming back, man. And thanks, King. Who else is here? We got Seth. Who are you, Seth? Who's Seth? Anyone? Who's Seth? Seth, who are you? I've forgotten, like, and it's not your fault. I probably do know everything about you, right? But I'm just terrible with names. I'm terrible with people. Like, I remember King, because King was one of the OGs, like literally one of the OGs. AMS, it's good to see you here, man. He's OG, No, wait. Seth, are you Burger? Is that why I can't remember you? Yeah, Burger. Nice. Hingston Burger is I. Nice. Guys, did you know that Burger's actually a celebrity? Like, there's a song about him and everything. Did I see that it was on Spotify, King? Did you put that on Spotify? That's amazing. I bet he is a genius too. I bet he is a genius. Although I hear that his English grade isn't as good as as AMS. So, hey, congrats on AMS's grades, everybody. Congrats to AMS in chat. It's awesome, man. You really bumped him up, and it sounds like you'll keep your parents happy that way, so that's good. So here's my microphone, and what I just noticed here is this is really weird. Like, I'm looking at it through the screen now, but when I look at the microphone, that little flashing light, I can't see that in real life at all. And that's because it's using LiDAR, like it's a variation of radar or some kind of radar, and that's beaming back to me. And see how when I move away, that bar light moves back. It changes. Oh, it should move back anyway. Oh, it's not moving back. Anyway, yeah, so that's reading how far away I am from the mic, and it auto adjusts my volume based on how far away I am, so that I don't get I don't max out cap the sound. What's the word I'm looking for? Anyway, either way. What else? Got this is my very technical setup here. Got a Bulldog clip with a little S-hook that I nicked from the kitchen. So I had to put one of the pots into a cupboard instead of hanging it there. And then, yeah, that's where I hang my studio headphones, which, I'll be honest with you, I actually haven't used these much. Like, I think the last time I used them was probably with you guys. For recording with audiobooks, you're supposed to use these. They're called studio headphones, and they pick up, like, all the sound. They don't add any EQ, like, they don't make it extra bassy or extra trebly. So these give you, like, a really realistic sound. I actually fucking hate it because it's too real. Do you know what I mean? Here's my old man shocks. Here as well. Well, you know the old man the shocks that you see people wearing? These are the shocks, these are the headphones I wear pretty much I wear these probably about 12 hours a day in total. They go over and they conduct the sound through your bone, instead of through your eardrums. Like, they go straight through the outside. They don't go over the top of your ears. And so I'll put that back there. Oh no. Jay. And then I've got my head torch because, obviously, as Burger would know and as Little King would know, you'd know what time it is. Yeah, no, dude, the mic is awesome. It's called a Lewitt Ray. Yeah, I don't explain it as well as there's this guy called Booth Junkie, and he explains it really well. And yeah, if you look up Booth Junkie, Lewitt Ray, I think Lewitt, the spelling's on the back here. Hang on. Where is it? Oh, no, you can't see shit. Anyway, there he is. Lewitt. This is like the cheapest Logitech webcam that I can get. Because I never expected to be using it with you guys. So yeah, what did you say? You got to use it to see, so you can get back inside. Yeah, dude, yeah. So when I go for a toilet break, like a piss break. Sorry, that's rude. It seems rude. Yeah, I have to go out there. So this is like, the booth in general is weird. Oh, and that's my temperature. I keep this in here now because I actually do another stream. Like, I actually stream on another channel now. I don't want to betray you guys or anything, but like, I'll tell you all about it as we go. But basically, like, this is my temperature gauge. This is a garden temperature gauge from, literally, it's got like staining, like dirt stains on it from the garden. But yeah, it's like, it gets hot in here. It's already 32, what is that, 32 degrees? Whew. And when I come in here at the start of the night, it's usually about 27 degrees in here. As you can see, I'm starting to already sweat balls a bit. That's fine. What did you say? You see how hot it is? Yeah. What, you see how it is? Is there a door? So far you've shown the room, I don't see a door. No, yeah, you don't see a door because this is where I live. I don't actually ever leave. This is my whole environment. Help me. The door's over here. The door's over here. So hang on, I'll put this back up here for a second because you're probably getting like motion sickness. Hang on. All right. Okay. So this is where I sit on this. This chair cost me $2. Hang on. You wanted the tour, you're getting the tour. This is my $2 chair. Ooh, leather with a Cairns Marathon from when we did the Cairns Marathon a couple of years back. It's on the bottom because I don't want to show you under that, because the reason it costs $2 is because I bought it from the dump. You know, like you go to a tip or a dump and you turn, like they usually have like a recycling shop at the dump, like stuff that they take straight off the landfill and put it in the shop. So this has gone from landfill to the dump shop. And oh shit, I'm up here. Hello. And it went straight to the dump shop. And what had happened was I'd already bought another. This is like way too involved for this like scenario. But basically, I started out recording on like a bar stool, like, you know, a kitchen bar stool that you'd find in a kitchen, just like a wooden bar stool. And then I realized that was never going to work. And then what I did was I bought a $2 office chair from the dump shop, which was worse than this one. It, you know, the back only came like halfway up my back, and it was even louder than this one. Just sitting here rocking. And then I moved from that to this one. So I took that one back to the dump shop, and I asked them, I was like, oh look, I don't want this one anymore, like I like this one instead. Like, I mean, it's just like on a hot, you know, day, it was like raining, I think, like 10 minutes later, so it must have been, anyway, it was hot. So, and then the guy, I was like, how much do you want for the other chair? He's like, well, you're bringing that chair back. Like, no one ever brings stuff back to the dump shop. So like, what are you doing? I was like, I just don't need it anymore. So he was like, well, since you brought that one back, this one was $4, now I'll sell it to you for $2. So I was like, okay, cool. Yeah. What'd you say? While gaming, have the cam on the corner. You mean like down the corner of the screen, here? Is that what you mean, AMS? Yeah, no, I've got a transition. I'll be putting it, hang on. Where is it? Oh no, where's it going? Hang on, I thought I was doing the right thing. Hang on. Oh Christ, there it is. So I'll be doing it like this. La la la, woo! So I got my chroma key sorted out. Sort of. It's like the dodgiest chroma key. Here, I'll show you. Because this was already blue, these, like the sides of the whole booth, the booth is lined with, on the inside, it's like pallet wood on the outside, you know, like pallet wood, you know, just like waste scrap wood. And then on the inside of that, it's lined with, I don't know any way you'd be able to see it anymore because all the layers are done. But like, it's like pallet wood, oh God. It's like pallet wood, and then on the inside of that it's plywood, marine grade plywood that was free from a friend. Like, this is all on the cheap, guys. Fellas, this is the way you gotta do it. And it's earned me like, not much money, like a lot of money for me, but it's probably earned me over the last 2 years something like, I don't even know, like somewhere in the ballpark of maybe like 20 grand Australian, which is good for a little side hustle where I come and sit out in the booth. And most of the time these days, I'm not even recording for other people, I'm just YouTubing for myself. So, what stops water from getting in? Yeah, is the video mirrored? I put it, hang on, I'll deal with that first. So what, let's figure this out, hang on. There we go. So yeah, for Christ's sake, not you, me. Hang on. How do I get this down? All right, so like, this is my left hand. Yeah, so that's opposite for me. What does that mean? Does that mean mirrored? I don't know. So like, but I made it so that like, this is like in real life, this is how you would see me if you were sitting across from me. So I figured that out on my other stream, because I actually stream with that with my face as well. But I'll talk about that channel in a bit. Like, it's a completely different channel, and it's not doing well. But I don't care that much if it does well. Like, it's for my sons. So like, I'm putting my face on for my sons. Yeah. So this is how you would see me in real life. But yeah, like if I turn around, that's how, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, that's my left hand because that's my wedding ring, right? So yeah. The right way. Yeah, it makes sense to me too. It makes sense to me. Wait, so what stops water from getting in? Yeah, that's the other good question. So like, it's like layers, man. It's like layers. So like, let me just get through the inside first. All right. It's like, oh wait. Okay, so scrap wood on the outside, pallet wood, that's the main frame. And then it goes marine grade plywood, which is really thick. It's like 12 millimeter plywood. and that had some holes which I plugged up with sealant because I tried to make it as airtight as possible because air carries the noise. And then on the inside of that, this soft, fluffy stuff, like underneath the blanket, most of it is 2 layers thick. So like each layer is about, why can't I just can't do this, bro. Most of the layer is like this thick, like one slab of insulation is about this thick. So about whatever that is, like, I don't know, 10 to 15 centimeters, yeah? No, 10 to centimeters, but most of it is double layer. So it's like really, we're sitting in the middle of something really thick, like here. So this would be a much bigger room. I'd actually be able to stretch my arms out a lot more. But as you can see, like I can't, like the side over here is just there. The side here is literally like just there. So I don't have much room to move around here. Yeah. Ain't no landowner. What? At least we know you own and don't rent. Yeah, man. You always overthink and oversimulate stuff in your head. Okay. Ain't no landowner. Oh, no, well, this is the thing, right? This is a completely mobile unit. If I was renting, I'd totally still be able to build this. And in fact, if I was renting, I would definitely build it like this because, like, you could do this in your living room. It's not that big. Like, the length of this whole booth it's quite long. Like, if I lay down, because I used to actually, when I'd audiobook narrate, back in the bad old days 2 years ago when I started, I used to, I'd get sleepy. Like you get like 3 hours into narration, you do like say 3 hours of narrating and then you'd spend another 3 to 5 hours editing. And you do like 4 nights of that and you got an audiobook done and then you collect your money, right? But I'd get really sleepy, so I'd literally lay on the ground, which is carpeted, by the way. And actually, it's funny you mentioned rentals. But yeah, ooh, you got my dodgy bare feet. Woo! Yeah, but it is rental carpet. Like it's carpet from when we used to rent the last house we rented before we owned our property. We dropped the iron onto the living room carpet, like when we were, because it was such a small place, we were like ironing and doing our laundry in the living room. Which it was still big enough, like it had 2 rooms, but they were full of our crap because we knew we were going to buy a house, so we just started like accumulating stuff. And so because we dropped it on the carpet melted a little bit, and then they made us replace the entire carpet for the entire living room, which was really expensive. And because it was so expensive and I'm so cheap, I'm such a tight ass, I was like, yeah, we got to keep this carpet. And so like it was a big enough room, like it was as big as like your standard living room, so we kept that much carpet. So just on the other side of the wall behind you, because okay, that's the short answer to your question, how does it not leak? We're inside my shed, so like the whole booth is inside the bigger shed, right? So that protects it from the weather relatively well, although water does get under because we have a dirt floor in the shed. So this is raised up on some concrete blocks that I got from a friend for free. Do you get the theme here? And the floor is insulated as well, like it's sound insulated as well. So underneath the ground, the sound can't come in through that way as easily. It can't really get through the sides easily. I've made the door really quite small. Lost on. This feels weird, like you're looking at Freddie Mercury. Look, man, I'm just gonna take that. That's the highest form of flattery. I fucking love Freddie Mercury. Gone too soon. Gone too soon. Like MJ, right? You know. Yeah. Thanks, man. Actually, last time I was streaming with you guys, I wouldn't have had the mustache. The mustache is relatively, like, I grew it out mega bushy. Like, I'm talking mega bushy. For me, that is. Like, I'm not a manly man. And then we went on Christmas, you know, that Christmas vacation holiday over to my wife's old country, the UK. And then we got back and I shaved it all off. So, oh, by the way, I think, hang on. Oh, I'm not streaming yet to the vertical stream. I'm going to stream vertical as well, so I'm going to try and pick up some new subs tonight. We'll see how we go. Yeah, what I was going to say was, Yeah, I shaved that all off. This is the regrowth since like 4 weeks ago. Just wait. Gone Too Soon, the song by Michael J. Yeah, it's true, man, it's true. Carpet burn sucks. What'd you say? When I renovated my room with new carpet and everything. Sorry, I'm reading it like down here. So when you guys talk to me, my only evidence of you existing is on this little screen here. Here. So, right, what are you saying? Carpet burn sucks. When I renovated my room with new carpet and everything, I messed up a screw while trying to reassemble. Oh no. Got really hot and now I got a little burn there. Yeah, because they're all like they're all like synthetic materials, right? So that'll just melt. It sucks because like they're so good at resisting all this other wear, you know, especially if you've got one of those not such a shaggy pile. Like shaggy pile. If we start a band, could we call it Shaggy Pile? You know, if you got one of those ones that's like a really, really kind of corporate, you know, those corporate business carpets that you go into like a I don't know, like a business building, and it's like, it's not comfortable to stand on. That's what this is like. It's like really, it's quite thin. Vertical stream would doom my internet. I just can't set the resolution. Free views at least. Yeah, YouTube short streaming is a smart idea. Yeah, I started doing it with the other channel, sorry, that I stream for, just for a bit of fun and just to experiment with it. And in the back of my head, the whole time I've been away from this channel, I've been kind of, I've been getting ready mentally for the last, like, since I told you guys that I was coming back, I've been kind of mentally preparing in my head. Like, this is how it works for me. I'll spend 99% of the time, like, not even, I wouldn't even call it planning, but just like stressing. You know what I mean? You're like, oh yeah, that's coming up, that's coming up, that's coming up. I've got to start thinking about that. I've got to plan it. And then I'll plan it all out in my head. And then I'll try and do it and it'll fail. And then I'll go back to like just stressing about it. So like, I could have started probably about a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago, easy. But I was just stressing. Like, I just have like major performance anxiety, and not that I'm like performing for you guys, but in fact, this is probably, this and my other streaming channel, like this is pretty no frills me. Like this is just me pretty much. You do that as well? Yeah, King? Yep. Yeah. And then, yeah, I remember that assignment you had to do, and you were like, oh, don't worry, it's due in like 8 hours. I'm fine. And I was like, this is so relatable. You've got to do something. Like, you've just got to start doing something, like rip it off like a Band-Aid, you know what I mean? Anyway, so I've been ready to do this. But one of the last things I wanted to do was figure out vertical streaming. And I didn't want to go purely to vertical streaming because it doesn't feel as personal. It doesn't feel nice. Like, to watch a vertical stream, it feels like, you know, it kind of feels like cheap and dodgy. But it would be an easy way, I thought, maybe to get some easy, yeah, like you say, easy hours, easy views into the channel. And I thought, if I'm going to go back to it, I'm going to try and actually, like, I don't know. This is what we want to talk about tonight. I'm taking on feedback because pretty much everyone that subscribes to this channel is more internet savvy than me, is more YouTube, like, wise than me, right? What did you say? If you were not going to be streaming today, I would have had only started my homework now or 30 minutes later. Hey, how good is that? That's a win, man. That's a win, AMS. That's cool because that means you're done. So good on you, man. Did you manage to charge? Because I saw in the Discord you were going to charge as well. What else have we got here? You should probably start that, King. Don't have one. Oh, do you actually? Burger does. Okay, I'm not going to ask King, but Burger, does he have something due tomorrow? Like, really? Like, actually? Because, like, maybe you should start that. Have you started it? What is it? Is it English? Please tell me it's English. English is cool. We can do English. No. What subject is it? Is that set? What does set mean? What does that mean? Is this a 6-7 thing? You did, and we have. Oh, you charge it. You have reduced some charge through the app session, which hasn't ended yet. AMS, one thing I've always respected about you is your honesty. Yeah, man, this is mostly going to be a yap session. We might do a bit of gaming, but it's mostly going to be a yap session because like it's going to be like a let's reconnect. I was actually going to make it like a members only, like a subs only thing and share the link. I was considering just making it just us, but I didn't know if that meant that it would notify people who were subscribers but weren't in the Discord, or if it wouldn't notify them of it. Do you know what I mean? So like I wanted it to get out to all 50 of the subs, you know, like, which I'm sure most of them have forgotten they ever subbed to the channel. But yeah, I wanted it to be kind of just a catch-up session, really just a yap session. Yeah. 34, are we going to start gaming? Should you sacrifice the yap session to charge? Yeah, go ahead, sacrifice it, because I have no time frame on this, guys. Like, if you gotta go, you gotta go. I'll keep on yapping, basically. And then if you need to catch up later, if you're interested in what's been going on, yeah, feel free to come back, and if you don't want to, that's fine too. Another thing that like really, I think it started, like, full honesty, I think something that started to get to me and that also pushed me a little bit away from the stream, and it's not you guys, like this is a me thing. And Sefik, I think Sefik mentioned it. He was always talking about like, I wish Sefik was here too, man. Where's Sefik? Anyone heard from Sefik? He was always talking about like, yeah, you spend a lot. He was saying like you spend a lot of time talking to your chat, more than usual people, and like I don't think I really am very good at like picking a direction for the stream and just going. I'm very good at stopping and chatting. Do you know what I mean? And that's kind of what I'm like in real life as well. Hang on, what have you said, Mirox? I remember pushing away my homework, then forgetting about it, and then doing it at like 3 a.m. Oh my God. Oh no. Oh, it's for a vet course, as in vocational educational kind of studies. You'll catch up. When would we be starting games? I don't know. Look, we'll try and I'll try not to yap for more than another half hour, like maximum, okay? But it will be like I'm literally just going to be talking about whatever you guys want to talk about, and I'd love to know what you guys have been up to as well. Like, are you still running channels? Like, is Tide around? Is Nasty around? Who else have I missed? I know there's heaps of other people who I've forgotten. Like, I'm just really bad with names. But I would remember them, but I've just forgotten their name. Does that make any sense? So, never. You wish what? Boltzmann constant. Who's Boltzmann? Boltzmann, which one are you again? What's your other name? Oh, so King, are you saying that you'd never give up your YouTube channel? Is that what you're saying? Or you'd never start your assignment? Oh, Sefik. Oh yeah, bolts. Tide bolts, yeah. What bolts is Sefik? I don't remember him being called Bolt. Sefik is the guy from Finland, right? And Tides is from like, is he from the Netherlands? No, or was Nasty from the Netherlands? Oh, there's too many people. I need to reconnect through the World Guesser as well. Yeah. Crazy. Boltzmann is Sefik. Oh, I get it. Oh, Sefik! Yes, man. It's good to see you, bro. Yeah. Another reason why I actually decided to come back was when I was on my holiday, like you get to these kind of moments in your life where you know, like birthdays, weddings, funerals, whatever. And I was just sitting there at Christmas and I was like, it's been a really good year. And I was like reflecting on it, you know, like a good old man reflecting on my life. And I was like, you know what? I think I actually was pretty, like, having a really good time with these guys. They're fucking sweet people. Like, they're good people. Yeah. And I was thinking about the OGs, man. Like, yeah. And I was like, yeah. And I just always remember back, like, Sefik, you helped me, like, set up my audio. Always given me good advice, man. And you're an old soul, bro. They're both Dutch. Nasty is Dutch and Tides is Dutch. Yeah, right. You've given up on this account. Maybe next year oh, King, you say, I've given up on this account. Maybe next year I'll make new content different when I have time and better equipment. Be right back. All right. See you soon, AMS. See you soon, bro. Yeah. Look, the equipment is a weird one, isn't it? Like, because I don't think I like what you put out, King. Like, I honestly don't think there's anything wrong with the stuff you put out. But if it's taking up your time, like if I've learned anything from like the YouTube thing in general and working like in this weird kind of side hustle life, yeah, if you're not feeling it, just don't push it. Even if it's a passion project, like why would you push it? Do you know what I mean? Yeah, I totally get that. And also, this is your last year of school, isn't it? Like you're finishing up this year, right? So I can imagine, yeah. It's mostly the laptop. Oh yeah, the laptop. Yeah, and your cat that pisses on everything. Is it cat that pisses on everything? Not a passion project. Hang on, what'd you say? Boltzmann constant. Not a passion project. If there is no... This is why we want Sefik in the chat. Sorry if I'm overloading the mic. Sorry, microphone. This is why we need Sefik in the chat. He has this advice. There's no such thing as a passion project. If there is no passion, Sefik 2026 on the chat. Holy shit, that's exactly right. Guys, this is why this is the best. Yeah, this is what I've missed. I've missed us, like as a group. It's a fun group to be part of, you know? And remember, the original goal of the whole channel was that I was testing out like games and stuff that, you know, my students would be playing in my classes, and I was like looking over their shoulder and being like, okay, get off the game. And then I'd be like, but just tell me the name of tell me the name of that game you were playing. Like, and then get off the game. And no reason, just so I can, you know, get it banned from school. And then I'd be like, ooh, Tides, yo, everyone, Tides is here. Hello, Tides. Rip Whiskers 20. Oh, King. Oh, I'm so sorry. Well, this is mega awkward. But also, like, man, that was rude of me. I'm sorry, bro. How old was Whiskers? 2019. So he was not even that old. What happened? Sorry, if you don't want to talk about it, you don't have to talk about it. Okay. The crown acknowledges Tide's presence. Oh, thy presence. Thy presence. Tides, yeah, legit Tides, yeah. I think, Sefik, I missed Sefik's wisdom. and yeah, he's like general chillness. Tide, I missed the abuse that you hurl at every single one of us indiscriminately. Peak abuse. We just did a little tour of the booth. This is my recording booth. As you can see, I tried to make it homely. I've put in 0 pictures of my family or anything like that. When I started out in recording voiceovers for YouTube and for you know, audiobooks and stuff like that, all the advice online is like, you know, make it a friendly space, because you're going to be spending hours and hours and hours and hours in here. And I was like, yeah, that became really true really quickly. And they're like, you know, put up some pictures of your loved ones and put up little motivational quotes and stuff like that. And I was like, no, I got no time for that bullshit. I got no time. Not that my family's bullshit, but like, if I'm out here, it's because I've got stuff to do, you know what I mean? And if I had pictures, I'd just stare at the pictures all night. I'd just be like, yeah. And if it was pictures of my kids, I'd be like, I need to go back in the house, because like, what am I doing out here? And like, that is true, but I was also out here to earn a bit of extra money to help pay some bills and stuff like that. So you were checking my lives and shorts and more to see if I would ever come back. Oh, thanks, man. Yeah, like I think I always, like, I didn't quit. Like, I just, I can't remember how the last stream went, but I was kind of like, I was quite sad about our dog. Yeah, oh, sorry, this is pertinent to this point, but yeah, King, what are you saying? You're actually not sure. Your sister found her in the backyard after being gone for a few months. Yeah, that sucks, man. I have noticed that cats, like as pets over my life, they seem to just kind of go away to die. When I grew up on a farm, and we've had a few cats go that way. Like they would disappear, but we never found them because we were in the middle of the bush, you know. So, yeah, I'm so sorry to hear that. At least it's kind of nice that she was found, though, right? Yeah, in a way, probably not so nice to look at, but nice that at least there's a bit of closure there. That sucks, man. You remember the dog? Yeah. Our dog was called Xena. We had two sisters, and they came from the same litter, as in, you know, they had the same mum. And Zelda, we named them. It was actually my wife's idea. She was like, I was like, what are we gonna call these two? And she was like, oh, Zelda and Xena, because they're two princesses. And we didn't have kids at the time, so like, I don't know if you guys are old enough for this, some of you, but like, it's really common if you see couples that you know, as you get older, you'll see certain friends of yours get shacked up, like become a couple with someone else, and then they'll end up getting a pet. And that's when you kind of go, like, not all the time, obviously not all the time. I know a couple that are they're in their late 50s now. They're both teachers, friends of ours, and they don't have kids. But they just have lots of pets, you know, like, and that's their kids. But like, if I see a friend of mine, especially in the last 10 years, like through their 20s and 30s, and they get a pet, it means they're kind of, maybe even subconsciously, but they're just getting ready to test out the idea of what it's like to have a kid together, you know? So we got these two dogs, and then within like 4 months of that, my wife was pregnant. Don't know how it happened. And no, like, so within a year and a half of us buying our dogs, we had our first son. Yeah. Midnight's back. Where are you, Midnight? Midnight! Yo! Midnight's in the chat. Sorry, I'm just yapping. AMS is getting real mad at me. Give it this info. You will be back when you finish the rest of your homework, like 7 maths problems, so be sure to turn on a timer. Okay, good luck with your maths problems, bro. I can't promise that we're not going to be still yapping. Like, I'm having a good time. If you guys are still chilling, I'm chilling. Yeah. I've just got so much to tell you guys. Yeah, we're good, man. Yeah. We're good, Midnight. Yeah. It's good to see you popping up in the chat, man. Did you, yeah, face reveal. Yeah, face reveal, because that was another thing as well. I was like, I think you were not wrong in, was it December? Whenever I sent the voice message on Discord a few months back, saying that I'd come back, King, and I was talking about like, you know, what had been going on. I was just kind of thinking, like, what is there a point in staying faceless? And you had a point when you were like, maybe he's not showing his, maybe he quit because, you know, because you were like, oh, because he couldn't do it anymore because he's a teacher. I've looked into it a little bit. I'm not sure about the ethics of it. As far as I can see, though, I'm not going to be revealing any confidential information. None of you are my students. You know, obviously that would be a conflict of interest. Like, this is real talk. Like, I have thought about that. And as far as I can see, there's nothing unethical going on here. But if I did think there was something going on, I'd be forefronting it. Like, it's not worth my job for, like, you know, like, the job pays the bills, you know what I mean, at this point. Until I have, like, a Ludwig level following, which is never going to happen, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not, like, unrealistic about this. I'm just having, it's just fun. We're just having a bit of fun. So I think we're good. I look younger. I think you're preferring the yap session. Nice, man. Nice. Oh, cool. Yeah, no, I mean, look, if I didn't think it was fine, or if for some reason, like for example, because I go to multiple schools, I'm a relief teacher, like I'm a sub teacher, uh, and I got pulled into the office by anyone, or they called me up to regional, which is like, you know, like all the schools that I work for are state education schools, and so they all report to regional, who reports to state level. If regional pulled me in for whatever reason, and they said like, well, you know, what are you doing? I'd just be really honest. It's not like anything here is in private. You know what I mean? Like we're not trying to, you know what I mean? Like there's nothing dodgy going on here. So yeah, but yeah, if they said like that's a conflict of interest and they could show me in my contract where that was a conflict of interest, then I would just, yeah, I'd probably just send out a post and be like, sorry guys, until I find another career, which I am actually looking at doing eventually. I haven't got like a deadline for it, but I think when both of the kids are in school, both of our boys are in school, one of them is, but the other one's got about two or 3 years to go, depending on what we decide to do. So I think what I'm going to do is once they're both at school and we have a more consistent schedule and they're not like going all over the region to go to daycare and kindergarten and things like that. We'll talk about a change of career then, but not worth the job. Bloody oath, because family first, right? And like I would always promote that to you guys. Holy crap, it's getting hot in here. Tides, midnight, sorry. I look younger. Thanks, man. Especially since I got this haircut. Up until like 10 days ago, I actually had hair down to here, down to my forehead, and this the camera's like reversed to make it look, you know, real. So usually when I have short hair, I go this way. This is too much information, right? I get that. But I usually go this way until it's a bit longer, and then when it gets longer, I go the other way across like a Bieber kind of haircut from like when Bieber was young. Because as you can see, I am going incredibly bald, slowly but surely, and not that I care, but like for example, I've got like tide marks. See this little freckle here? You probably can't see it. That one there. That used to be covered by hair when I was in my early 20s, you know? So it's slowly going, and I don't really care. Like, I'm fine with it. It's just, it gets really annoying when it gets long. Like, what are you supposed to do with long hair? When the wind pushes it aside, you just see all this. And it's one of my party tricks, like one of my tricks with class, like students sometimes when they're like, what's up with your hair? And I go like, ah! And they go, ah! You relate to the hair. Yeah. Am I ever going to do vlogging? You want to see my gardening videos? It's funny you mentioned that. Yeah, we'll talk about that in a sec. Because, yeah, like that's one of the other channels I have, the gardening channel. And I continued, like I shifted the emphasis to this channel from the gardening channel when I started working with you, like hanging out with you guys, Sorry, I'm so used to talking at work. Like when I started working on this project, no, like when we started hanging out on here, and I started this channel, I shifted the focus from the. Sorry, I'm just going to open that door a bit. Oh, it's hot. Hang on, let's see the temperature. Let's do the temperature check. Yeah, that's 34 degrees now, which is not so hot, but there's no airflow, so I'll open the door just to get a bit of airflow. And I've got this little Temu fan up here. Oh, I think there's a light too. Hang on. So I got speeds, and then I never used the light. I think that's for influencers. Like it's a little ring light. How weird is that? But I don't want to waste the. It's a battery operated one. I can charge it, but like it, you know, it's all just a whole thing, and it just clips onto that pole. Channel collab between what? This and the gardening channel. Like, so I'll co-host with myself. Is that what you mean? That'd be rad. Yeah, I wouldn't mind. Yeah, like I think at some point I am going to cross the channels and kind of. I'm going to find some way to combine them in a way. I don't know if I'm going to like directly put them all in like in one basket. Like I'm not going to make it like one collective company at the moment. It would work. Epic collab, yeah. Yeah, like B1 and B2. I don't know if that Bananas in the Pajamas reference hits with you guys because wrong country or too young, but there was an old show called The Bananas in the Pajamas, and they're brothers and they're both bananas and they wear pajamas. Stay with me, all right? I don't know if this is too complex yet, but if you just look up Bananas in Pajamas, 1990s, you'll know what peak TV I was watching when I was a kid. It's like literally two guys in a big suit. Yeah, no, so a collab with myself. I don't know if I'm going to directly connect the channels is what I'm saying. I think, because at the moment I'm actively maintaining, like now that I've got this one going again, I say actively, like kind of, I haven't really committed to one channel fully. I probably need to work more like that direction if I want to actually build, like make some progress in terms of subs. They're all pretty small. Like this is my second smallest channel. I started another one just before we went on holiday, and the first video actually hit pretty well for me, that is. Like it got like, I think it's at 1.4K now. And it's like a 12-minute little mini video documentary on Zootopia. And I was just trying to like mimic what other channels have done that I've worked for. Yeah. Since then, I kind of got impatient with doing that format because it took like, it took like 2 days to write the script, revise the script, and then it took half an hour to record the script, and I ended up adding in all this stuff that wasn't in the script. The voiceover was easy because that's like my thing. And then it took me, I'm getting like PTSD thinking about the video editing, like, because I just suck at it. I just fucking suck at video editing. And so like, it took me like 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks of like video editing most nights for like 2 hours at a time, 3 hours at a time. And I was just like dying inside. Sorry, I haven't been checking out. Epic collab, the show. Oh, Bananas in Pajamas annoyed you. I always thought that Rat was misunderstood. That's my one comment about that show. I feel like Rat probably had ADHD, and they were just a bit mean to him, you know? Anyway, I think the Teddies were a bit cliquey. They're a bit like Mean Girls. Anyway, Epic collab. Bro is doing everything, side questing. Yeah, so the basic rundown is I've got a gardening channel. That went through a bit of a transformation just before we left on holiday. I used to have stuff with my sons in it and my wife on it. Like, I don't mind if my wife's in my vids and stuff, but like, I took down most, if not all, of the appearances from my sons on that channel. I got a couple of like disturbing, not mega disturbing comment, like not like hate posts or anything like that, but just people being a bit weird in the comments. And they weren't even about our kids, but like I was just like, you know, like this is real life. This is not, the internet's not real life, you know what I mean? So I took down most of that stuff. And what I ended up doing was, once we got back from the holiday, I did start vlogging. Now that you mentioned that, so Midnight, you said, am I going to start doing vlogging? Yeah, like I did about like, well, before this channel started, I did a couple of live vlogs with my phone in the garden, and they actually went down pretty well with the subs. I definitely, almost every kid show annoyed me as a kid, lol. Yeah, it means you were a critical viewer, and that's a good thing. Not hypercritical, critical. You should be critical, and you should like audit everything you see. English teacher, you should reflect on the themes and the gaps and silences and the things they're not saying. Yeah, blah blah blah. Children and videos, yeah, it just ain't worth. And like, originally it was because I started that channel because I was like, I was trying to, well, first of all, I was sick of working for other channels, and that's why I got into YouTubing myself, because I was earning like minimum dollar on voicing YouTube clips for other channels. And once one of them popped off, like really started popping off, I think that's the first time I was like, wait a minute. And I looked them up on Social Blade. And I think if you don't know what Social Blade is, it's like a website where they tell you your ranking in the world of your YouTube channel. They tell you on average, like they track your metrics. For anyone watching, which you can usually use vidIQ or something for anyway, or TubeBuddy or something like that. But you can also see an estimate of what their monthly and daily earnings are. And the estimates for that are wild. Like it'll say stuff like, this channel is like earning anywhere between $3 and $6,000 per month, and you're like, like it could literally be anything, or that could be wrong as well. So like, but one of these channels that I work for, they definitely. So what do you say? Social Blade has gotten so much worse. Yeah, I've never paid any money to them. I don't know if the information gets any more accurate if you pay, but if that's the case, then like fuck you. Do you know what I mean? Like, what's the point of even advertising your services if you can't show me something accurate? So if that's what they're showing me at the front door, I'm not going to walk in. I'm not going to give them money. So, like I said, mega cheap. Hello, this is me, A&R, mega cheap, tight ass extraordinaire. And so, yeah, I started that channel because I was sick of working for other channels that were, I think like 2 of them popped off. One was, I think I might have even showed this on a stream before when I was really annoyed one night. One of them was they started out as like an RV, like recreational vehicle, like, your camper van type living. And I was reviewing like camper van spots like Yosemite Valley and Yellowstone Park, but it was all in an American accent, and it was all like pretending that I was an American RVer who knew what I was talking about. The amount of stuff out there that you can't believe. There's more stuff out there that you can't believe than what's actually real. Which is why I think like talking heads stuff like this stuff is getting more popular, has been more popular for a while, because it's just more trustworthy. Like, sure, you don't get to see me doing a Mr. Beast show, but at the same time, like, what is real about Mr. Beast? And by the way, I have gone and like, I still have never watched a Mr. Beast video, by the way. But I know more about him now. Like, it's hard to get away from him. Sometimes my feed's clogged with like Mr. Beast controversy. If I don't scroll past one fast enough, YouTube seems to think I care about it. YouTube is like 5 to 10 cents per hour of watch time. Yeah, but this widely ranges based on your content and stuff. Yeah, that's exactly right, bro. I think it's what's it called? It's CPM, isn't it? They pay at least long form. You get like AdSense. You can get sponsors and all that kind of stuff. I know that, but the thing I'm basing this on mostly is like CPM, which is cents per milli, which means cents per 1,000 views. Like how many American cents you're getting paid per 1,000 views, and yeah, that depends on niche. Like I think financial advice and legal advice channels and education channels in general get so much more per 1,000, as they should. Like if you're giving legit advice, like look at me, I'm just a dude sitting in a sweaty box made out of scrap wood, and these are moving blankets. I didn't mention this. These are moving blankets. You buy them from Bunnings if you're Australian, or like your local Home Depot store if you're not Australian and you're from an inferior country that's not Australia. Yeah, these are just, they're cheap as, like a 3 by 3 meter blanket or 12 by 12 foot blanket is like, wait, is that right? That's not right, is it? Yeah, 12 by 12-ish foot blanket is like $12 Australian, which is like, yeah, like, I don't know what that is, like $15 American, or like €1. €1. You rich bastards. Sadly, a lot of people, what are you saying? Education makes so much it's crazy. Yeah, and a lot of people abuse it. Well, a lot of people do. Yeah, the rate is per 1,000 reals, 3 cents. It depends. Yeah, like you say, Mirox. Richtig. Yeah, voll. It is because of yeah, like it's because of basically sponsorship and the ads that you're going to get on an educational channel or a financial advice channel and a legal, from what I know anyway, like they're going to get more money per thousand because the type of advertisers that content will bring in is different to, say, if you're posting, I don't know, like, I ate 100 bananas in 12 hours. I ended up in hospital. How am I not dead? And you're like, yeah, what kind of advertising deal are you going to get out of that? Not the same amount of dough that a legal company is going to give a legal-based channel. Do you know what I mean? So they obviously get more money, and that's fine. Yeah, you meant views. Yeah. But I think you're right. Like a lot of people do abuse it. I mean, before the AI slop stuff, I would have said that, like, I think that we're in pretty good hands in terms of like what you actually get on YouTube. Like we as an audience seem to be we're discerning. Do you know what I mean? Like that's a word I use in teaching all the time. Like an A standard student gets because they can discern, they can analyze and interpret and evaluate discerningly, like with good judgment, right? The algorithm generally reflects what people keep watching, and if it's education and legal advice, it either has to be really flashy and fake, really flashy and real, or really boring and real to be successful. Do you know what I mean? Like, but if it's really shit and badly made, and bad advice, like shit advice, then they're not going to be doing too well. Like most of the time that's fine. AI has changed everything because it's just like, fuck, it's just fucked. Like, YouTube's living this double life. Like, I don't know if YouTube's watching, YouTube, are you watching me? They're living this double life at the moment where they're talking about all the changes they're making. They've taken down all these AI slop channels. You guys probably know all this stuff. But like, they've taken down all these AI slop channels, but they also offer AI tools. And like, I get the nuanced argument that I understand what they're saying when they say, well, AI it's a useful tool. It's not a replacement for humans. But if you're using it as a tool, then that's fine. I get that. Like, I'm not an idiot. And we aren't idiots. But it also feels like they're treading the line a bit too closely. Does that make sense? Do you know what I mean? Sadly, for reals, 1 hour insurance podcast on Steve Eisman's channel probably has a more affluent viewer base. Yeah, this is what I'm saying. Like, yeah, it's a simple correlation, right? Actually, while we're here, like, we are just going to yap for a little while. I'm just going to put on the vertical stream. Why the hell not? Why not? Okay, so you're seeing, let me show you what I'm seeing. My vertical stream has like me floating in space though. Oh God. There's the vertical. Oh no, you can't see shit. Oh, because it's looking at me. Oh. I'm so stupid. It's looking at the screen, so obviously it's not going to show me. But I'm a floating head. I'm a floating torso for that one with a background. So, yeah. So it makes sense to me, doesn't it? It makes sense, right? Because if you have an advertising channel, a legal advice channel, the people that are looking for legal advice are going to range from your average Joe, but all the way up to, yeah, you're right, like companies, or professionals, contractors, anything, right? So like those people are worth more money. So the advertising that goes towards them is going to be for higher market value products. Higher market value product advertising means that they're willing to pay more to advertise with the channel and with YouTube, which means that the channel gets the knock-on effects of that. They should get more money. They're bringing in more money to the business, which is YouTube. Yeah, so it makes complete sense to me. But at the same time, yeah, you can totally try and take advantage of that. And the RV channel, for example, that I was working for, they were pretending to be, I don't know if they were marketing themselves as, I think they tried to market themselves as education. They were like trying to put out, this is educational information. We're giving out like useful tips. Here's the top 10 places to visit while you're in Yellowstone Park or Woolly Mammoth Park. I don't know, wherever the hell I don't know. I did like 30 scripts of them. I can't remember. But then when they realized that they weren't fooling anyone, maybe, I don't know, and their progress wasn't as quick as they wanted, they literally just switched, like overnight, we switched to like grief porn, basically. Like, here's all the terrible things that can happen to you if you litter the RV park. Here's all the ways that you can get arrested in this state with RVs. Here's all the ways like that we're ruining the country with CO2, whatever, you know what I mean? And the one that popped off was really, it was about, I think we ended up getting about 250K on that one. And I say I got paid, I think $17 for, no, because it was a longer one. It would have been like $25. So nothing, you know, like, and it takes me not long to make it. But you know, like, you kind of get to a point where you're like, maybe I should be doing this on my own. So I started the gardening channel. Yeah. Oh, hang on. What are you saying, Bolts? Oh, Sefik? So, Sefik, you're saying you keep getting boat and industrial intelligence ads when I watch Bloomberg or Morgan Stanley. Not really applicable to me, though. So the algorithm's got you wrong. Okay, hang on, sorry, just excuse me, Sefik. You need to change the adverts for Sefik. Yeah, no, he doesn't like them. Boats? No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't even know how to swim. He just eats a lot of herring. He's from Finland. I don't know. Okay, yeah, sorry. Sorry, man, I was just talking to the CEO. It's fine. What would you like to be advertised? Like, not that I am going to try and get you to say it out loud so that YouTube can hear you, which they're, you know, but do you know what I mean? Like, what? I actually am the other way around. Like, I'm scared sometimes at how accurate the advertising is. Yeah, like Facebook and YouTube, they both knew that my wife was pregnant before our family did. Do you know what I mean? Like, they were pumping ads out to us within, I'd say, a day of us talking to each other about being pregnant. And that was fucking scary. For some people, for people from our generation, that's scary. From people in a younger generation, you probably just expect it. But for us, that's literally sci-fi. Like, that's literally dystopian sci-fi for us. So it was bizarre. It was bizarre. So what would you like? You thought I actually took a call for a second. Well, King, it's called acting. See, acting is pretending. No, yeah. Yeah, sorry, man. Yeah. You've derailed my train of thought. It's crashed and 100 people died. The spyware is real. It really fucking is, bro. Yeah, hang on, I'll talk about that in a sec. What are you saying? Boat and industrial intelligence ads. Wait, so you want boat and industrial intelligence? What? You want those ads or you don't want those ads? I'm confused. You're doing an assignment, Burger. Oh, at least one of you is doing an assignment. That's nice. Maybe two of you should be doing an assignment. Too harsh? Too real? Okay, right. You think it might be EU regulation? You mean like you want to get advertisements for EU regulation, or are you saying that EU regulations are stopping you or affecting your algorithm? Because like you guys don't get spied on as much, is that right? I feel like, didn't you guys? Not you guys, like Europe's. I'm not an American where they go like, what's your favorite country in Europe? And they're like, oh yeah, I think I like Amsterdam. That's my favorite country. And you're like, this is why I don't have an American audience, because I'm so down on them. Like, I'm so down. I should be nicer, because like they could blow us up any second now. Who knows what the Orange Man's going to do? So, King, I call it like I see it, bro. Like, I'm just showing a care for your education. That's all I'm saying. And if you want to brainstorm some stuff, just tell us what the assignment's about, and I'll pretend that I know what I'm talking about, unless it's English, maybe ancient history or modern history. But apart from that, don't bother me with it. don't bother me with physics or or chem. I failed chem in year 11 after one semester, and then I just quit. My teacher was like, "You should quit. You're really bad at this." And I was like, "Yeah, you're right." You want them not going to... Oh, you want them, but you're not going to buy anything from Yamaha navigation products. Yeah, regulations made the ads less personalized. Yeah. That's pretty... That sounds like a luxury, to not be completely bombarded. Oh, by the way, is the music too loud in the background? Let me know if the music's too loud in the background. It's the same music I've been using for my other streaming this week. Let's talk about that in a second. That's fun. Let's talk about that channel in a second. Yeah, regulations. Oh, it's about prophecies within the Bible. Not too loud? Thanks, Sefik. You're my guy. It's about prophecies within the Bible. Yeah. Yeah, that's all you. I'm sorry, bro. I was raised a Quaker for a little while. I think my dad had the idea that we were Quakers. If you're not sure what Quakerism is, it's actually pretty cool. Like, in terms of Christianity, I would say, if I was, not that this, you know what I mean? Like, I don't think you get the option of choosing which one you get forced to be following, but which church you go with. But I reckon I could get down with the Quakers. I could fuck with the Quakers, because they're like, it's a lot more about modesty of faith and stuff like that. And don't get me wrong, like, I wouldn't even call myself agnostic anymore. I'd say I'm like full on atheist. We're dead flesh in the ground at the end of the day. And it's not that I don't want to believe that there's something else going on. I have an intellectual block, like I have a mental block, where I can't. I didn't appreciate as a kid being told a whole bunch of stuff that went along with religious doctrine, stuff like with religious, teachings that like when I grew up, I was just like, oh, well, that's just misogyny. Like, that's just racism. Like, and that's never stopped me working in religious schools or taking part in religious lessons, and staying within the ethos of the school that I'm working with. But like, and I respect that. I can totally respect the religion, but I'm not going to partake in it. But if I was going to be anything, I'd be a Quaker again. My point is, I can't help you with your RE assignment, bro. I'm sorry. I do remember when I went to a private school, like a private Catholic boys' school, for one term of my high school career. I remember doing an assignment which was a persuasive speech for or against abortion. Like, so, pro-life or pro-choice. And I was pro-choice. So that probably was the writing on the wall for that school. Like, the guy was like, I think I got an A minus for it. But I remember him being like, you raised some interesting points. I don't have the time to explain the counter arguments all to you now in this feedback, but just know that there are, I was just like, okay, which, whatever. Do they still exist? Not too loud. Do they still exist? Oh, are you talking about Quakerism? You saw their office in London, but are there that many? Are you talking about Quakerism? Sefik? Being agnostic is great. You're always right. Quakers, yeah, there's heaps of Quakerism stuff. Maybe it's an Australian thing, or maybe it's like, maybe it's never been huge, I don't think. But like, there's been, I think, I'm not going to go like looking this up, but I am 99.5% sure that, Cadbury's chocolate, like the chocolate company, the Cadbury family were Quakers, and I think there have been throughout history several because it's all about industriousness. Like, it's really, I mean, a lot of religious doctrine and like religious texts, they espouse community spirit, right? And, giving back to community and all that kind of stuff. But Quakerism, like, they seem to really walk the walk bang for buck in terms of what they give back to the community. Like, for example, I used to live in a place in Birmingham, in England, and like I was part of this running club, and we'd go and run in this place called Licky Hills. Licky, like Licky Hills, and it was right next to. It was in the town called Bournville, and if you know anything about Cadbury's chocolate, there's one type of usually in a red wrapper, it's called Bournville Cadbury's, and like Bournville is the town. You know, like in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, the chocolate factory is in the town. The original Cadbury's chocolate factory is in a part of Birmingham called Bournville, and just behind where their factory is, like in the neighborhood, is this massive. They owned this massive estate, like acres and acres and acres, like 50 acres, which is now in the middle of industrialized Birmingham and suburban Birmingham, and I think they just gave it back to the public. Like when they were getting rich, they were just like, okay, here's all this land. And I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. I know as well, during the Irish potato famine as well, this is because my wife is Northern Irish, and we go down and visit her Irish friends in the Republic of Ireland in the south whenever we go down. And in particular, they come from a county called Laois, which is like, I think if you said it like it was spelled, it would be Laois, like it's Laois or something. They live in Laois, and I think in Laois during the potato famine, the Quakers were really, like, they were there. They'd come as missionaries and like try and feed people and stuff like that. So let's talk about the channels. You have 2 questions left, guys. Oh, keep going, AMS. We're still yapping. I'm going full steam ahead, mate, and I'm not looking like stopping anytime soon. Hang on a sec. Is there a way that I can see? I think I've started the vertical stream. I don't know if anyone's talking to me in there. I haven't actually looked at this. Hang on. The other channels. Yeah, right. What do you want to know about the other channels? Oh yeah, the one that I've been streaming for lately is... Oh no, how do I... Oh no, maybe it's not actually streaming. It might not be streaming to the vertical. Ah, well. Can't win them all. So, what have I been streaming for lately? Yeah, the Quakers. Yeah, they were they're into that stuff. Let's talk about the channels. The channels. So, one of the other channels that I have. So I got that one that I do, like, I started with a video essay for it. It broke my heart and it broke my fucking soul video editing for it, but it actually had really good results. My issue with that video was that it was a really diluted message. Like, it was about Zootopia, and I really like Zootopia, and I wanted to get this message out about how it's like, I think it's a valuable movie, especially for younger viewers, in teaching about bias and all that kind of stuff. But it didn't get across like the nuance that I was trying to get across, which was like, I also wanted to talk, I was like trying to be like, okay, no, if I was a successful channel, I would just pick one message and it would be like, okay, I'll make something about bias. And so I was talking about Judy Hopps and Nick Wilde and their relationship and how they both had to overcome bias. Like easy stuff, right? Easy, slim pickings, like, anyway. And it got a huge amount of comments and likes for the size of the channel, like it was one video. I got like most of my subs. I think I've got like 42 subs now off that channel. I'd say I think 38 of those subs came from that one video. And that was good, but then I got sick of the editing, and then since then it's just all of the videos are flopping, even with the subs. I've got a couple of really like solid homies on that channel that are like properly, like they are. Have you ever met a Zootopia fan? Like, I'm a fan. I'm not a fan like they're a fan. Like, it's fucking intense. It's like camping. It's intense. You know what I mean? And so I started I came up with this method where I was like, okay, I need to put something visual on the background. So I came up with this idea where I got some, like some coloring in drawings off the internet of Zootopia, and then I got AI to write some coding for, like, I vibe coded it, because I'm just like, I'm such a cool AI, bro, and like crypto's great. No, but like I got AI to code me something that it vectorizes the drawing. If that, you guys probably know what that means. I had to learn what that meant, because I just said to AI, like, I need to learn how to, I wanted it to be like a blank background, like a parchment looking background, and then make it so that it was like drawing on the background, and like the duration of the video is just me talking and like speaking the essay or speaking my opinion piece. I wanted it to be a faceless channel as well. It's my obsession, not showing myself until I have to. And it kind of really slowly draws these drawings like on it looks like someone's drawing with, you know, like a nice old pencil on parchment. And it worked. It took a bit of fiddling around, a couple of days of fiddling around. I got it to work. And then most of those videos get like 100 views, but they are long content. So I was like pretty happy with that. And then I got sick of that even, because I wrote like a fan story about Porbert Linksley from Number 2, and like a little fanfic thing. And I used AI for idea generation, like not for idea generation, but like I wrote in all my ideas and I was like, turn it into a story. And I was like, cause I was just like, I was giving up on the channel because I was just like, whatever, like, let's see what AI can do for me here. It was not nice. Like, so I ended up changing what AI gave me so much to the point where I was like if I put this through an AI detector, it would be like maybe 15 to 20%. Because I added so much improv in. Anyway, that one I just literally put the words on the screen on a black screen. And then I got accused of it being AI, and I was like, oh, look, fair. It has got, probably, if you really know what AI sounds like, there's probably like a couple of sentences in there that are completely unaltered from the AI. Everything else was like, no, bro, because AI is just shit. It's not good. So, I can't use it in a way that makes it seem like my voice, obviously. So then I don't know if they accused me of being like AI in my writing, but then they were like, oh, your voice is also AI. And I was just like, hey now, mister. And so then I had to go way off. I just literally made one that was completely off script, and I made this massive long rant about J.K. Rowling and transphobia and stuff like that. Just to see what the reaction would be. Hang on, there's a moth in here. We're hunting the moth. This is the bad thing about opening the door, right? Usually it's mosquitoes, not moths, but yeah. So I had a go at that. I think I've done one since the Harry Potter rant. That got a really nice comment from a new sub from that video. Have I got it? No. Bugger. Ha. God damn it. Okay. I'm cool. It's cool. It's all good. And I've not touched that channel in about 3 weeks. The other channel, so I've got the gardening channel. I took all the kids' content of that. I started vlogging, garden vlogging, like one a day to 2 days for about a week or two. And then I just kind of fell out of love with it for a couple of reasons. There's the moth. Why can't I do this? Squish you. So I stopped the gardening channel a little bit, and then I went back to my other passion project, which I had been keeping going in the background, which is, I think I've talked about this as well, like it started out as a sleep story channel, like not really ASMR, not ASMR. I just kind of read like, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be reading chapter 1 of Wind in the Willows. So I want you to lay back and relax, wherever you are. And like the idea with that one was supposed to be, sorry about that. I should have warned you before I was going to do that. But the idea with that was I was going to, become a millionaire. And also my sons love audiobooks. And they love me reading to them. And so, because I've conditioned them that way. So they love listening to audiobooks at night. So I was like, oh, well, I'll make $1 million in the first year. Obviously, I'll be instantly popular because I'm a narcissist like that. And then I'll fucking have these amazing, like, little like time capsules of my voice that I can give to my sons on YouTube, and they can access them whenever they want, wherever they want. And then eventually I kind of just went, why am I like, I'm not real. It kind of turned out I wasn't really doing it for the sleep story stuff. I was doing it for my kids. So I changed the name of the channel to reflect that. And then I started to make stories that were specifically for my sons. I did a couple of free flowing kind of just talking directly to my sons. And now I've hit a kind of a compromise where I narrate stories they're all public domain stories. So they're all like old, so they're not in copyright. I can't get in trouble for it. Yeah, and I definitely... Homework's done! Nice! Heart-touching words? Oh. I'm glad you finished your work, man. Grats. What was the work on? Maths, did you say? Were there maths problems? Either way, I'm glad you finished. We're just talking about this other channel. Yeah, so it's a channel for my sons. It's purely, at this point, pretty much for my sons. I would love for it to do well, mostly because for that channel, my little like goal inside my head for that one was, if it ever made any money, then because the channel's for my sons, every bit of money will go towards the boys. It'll just be put in an account for the boys. And so... so that's what's going on there. And I've started and I kind of thought, if it's for the kids, then I'm really not trying to impress anyone else. It's only got like 102 subs. It's actually it's got less. 2 people unsubbed in the last couple of days, because what I've started doing is live streaming the process of me recording the audiobooks. And so kind of like what I was going to do in this channel, I was like, actually, that's probably better for that channel. And I'll record books that are specifically for the kids so they can access them, 20, 30 years in the future. Maths worksheet. Nice, man. Great. And now you're done. Amazing. Oh, that's so cool. Yeah. So that channel has been getting a lot of live stream attention lately. And I've kind of come full circle as well, to the point where I'm streaming here, because I was streaming that channel, the process of recording audiobooks. Then I even did just a raw reading of a couple of like 1 or 2 short stories. And then like didn't edit them into audiobooks, just left them as live streams, me just raw dogging it basically. And that's fine. And then I was like, well, maybe I can multi-stream to Twitch. And then I was like, no, I don't know if Twitch people are going to really... I don't know, like, what do people do on Twitch? I don't even know. I've watched like 3 Twitch streams before in my life. And so then I went and set up a Twitch channel for it. And then I thought maybe what I can do is I can try and pull viewers across to the YouTube channel by I was like, I'll play games, like especially voice command games where you control everything with your voice. And I'll use that as my vocal warm-ups for the audiobook stuff. Sounds kind of wanky, right? But then I'll also like maybe pre-read some of the short stories if I'm doing short stories, or pre-read the first chapter. And then what I'll do is I'll say, hey, I'm going to go over and record this on YouTube now for the other channel. If you want to follow me over there, blah, blah. Like pull some subs over from Twitch over to YouTube. Because if I had to choose one of the 2 channels, tell me if I'm wrong. Like, guys, tell me if I'm wrong. YouTube probably more profitable than Twitch on average at the moment. Like, I know there are mega rich people on Twitch. I know they get a lot of money and all that. But I think just in terms of my comfort zone as well, I'm much more comfortable streaming to here and also recording to here, where I already have all my other stuff as well. I'm kind of like, all my eggs are kind of in this basket. So anyway, last night I did this Twitch stream. I did my first Twitch stream over there for that channel. And I think I got one follower, which apparently is a big deal. In my head, it's a big deal. But I have a feeling as well, considering I got like a bot comment who was trying to sell me increased viewership. They were like, I can increase your views. Come and talk to me on the Discord. And I was like, okay, bro. Sure thing. I'll be right there. And yeah, I got 1 follower straight after that. So I have a feeling that the bot has followed me. So I think Twitch just deletes your bot followers after a while, don't they? Just gonna have a drink. It's actually nice to see everyone is listening instead of chatting. You think Twitch and YouTube earning curves are quite different? Yeah, I don't really understand their affiliate and partnership program. I don't really get it. I know that ads have, you know, something to do with it. I just imagine it would be quite similar to YouTube, but their entry level is really weird because like you have to have a concurrent average of like 2 viewers. 2? It's low, but it's also not low because no one ever watches for more than 10 seconds. Well, for me anyway. So, and like you have to have streamed for a certain amount of, I think it's like 8 hours in 30 days or something like that. Yeah. What are you saying? In Twitch, the subs are the most important thing. Yeah, and that's the other thing as well, because like you start with followers, right? Someone follows you, and then followers are like, they're free. It's free to follow someone. But then if you want to actually subscribe to someone, that's the paid service, right? I don't know if you charge the same for if every channel charges the same for subs, or if it's, you would obviously know way more than I do about it. Like I literally was just like, yeah, I'll use it to pull some subs over to YouTube. That was literally the goal. And I had a realization about like halfway through that stream where I was playing a couple of games and I was reading this really cool thing actually by this guy called Lafcadio Hearn, who was basically like an otaku from the 1800s and early 1900s, an American who was a journalist. He married an ex-slave in New Orleans or somewhere around like that area. He did a lot of reporting and then turned into this kind of like ethnography writer, like cultural writer for, I imagine, like this is what I'm reading between the lines is he was like freaky deaky for the exotic, what he saw as exotic things and people. And so he got sent overseas with one of the papers that he worked for or magazines, and they sent him to Japan eventually, and he ended up just never leaving Japan. And he was getting all this, he was writing as a correspondent back to this magazine or newspaper, and he ended up marrying the lady who helped him, like he was researching local and like Japanese myths and lore, like LORE lore, and he was writing about it, and he was learning from a lot of different sources, but there was this one particular lady, and I don't know what happened to the ex-slave wife, but he then married this Japanese lady and had like 4 kids with her before he died, and he died when he was like 50 something, which early 1900s, it probably wasn't that unexpected. So but he wrote this really cool collection of ghost stories from Japan, like traditional Japanese ghost stories, that most of them have been told to him verbally by like local community members and different sources and stuff like that. And he translated them and also added like a little bit of his own little, you know, a little bit of the old Lafcadio Hearn special sauce to them, and they did really well, and that's probably his most well-known literary work. And yeah, I was reading some of it and I was like, it's funny because I've kind of come full circle, because about 9 months ago, 10 months ago, whenever it was, I was like, man, I should make a channel where I play games and read stuff out loud. And that's why I made this channel, the ANR channel. So it came full circle last night. And then I'd also been kind of subconsciously trying to like psych myself up to get back in, you know, get back on the horse and actually reach out to you guys. And I was really, I'll be honest with you, like real talk for a second here, gents and ladies, if there are any ladies in the chat, but I think we're a gent crew. But if you're on the listen later crew and you are not of the male persuasion, I'm not just addressing males. But yeah, I was a bit ashamed. I was a bit embarrassed at how long I'd left it. Yeah, because I felt like we'd started building this really cool little kind of community here, and we're just fucking about. We're just having a fun time. But it was really fun, and I did regret leaving it that long. And finally, by the time I got to the point where I was like realizing that, I was starting to do the same stuff on other channels, and I was like, what am I doing? Like, just go back and do the thing that you were liking doing on that channel. So here we are. What are you saying? Nasty stopped missing out the stream. That's okay, Nasty. I'm sure Nasty's just gonna watch every single second of this later. I don't know if he will. I wouldn't. Maybe we should, guys, maybe we should edit in a clip. Like, maybe we should make a short out of this. Like, geez, where's Nasty? Isn't Nasty, I thought Nasty would be here, actually. Where's Nasty Stump? I feel like Nasty has fallen off, you know. Okay, there you go. That's going to be the short. No, exams, what do you say? You left just in time for me to study for exams. Exams ended just last week. That's right. You were coming up to this massive, you were working, weren't you? Were you working? And then you were getting ready for exams. How did they go? Like, how did they go? Like, was it heartbreakingly terrible? Because if you have exams that last that long, like, what's the format there? Do you have like one exam a week for 9 months or something? Like, or was it you spend a certain amount of time studying, and that's your school year, studying basically, and then you just do the exams? So were you saying that you were entering your final year? Like, I don't really know how it works. You basically live in a different world to me, educationally wise. Oh, sorry, hang on. You had an English exam, then that went as well. Oh, that went as well as you could expect. I'm sure you were fine. Your English is great, man. I don't know what kind of English, if they're talking formal English, I know that that's got its, you know, its foibles. I know that there is definitely stuff that, like, our language, bit silly. It's a bit silly, isn't it? Then you had, what, in March? You had exams in March. Okay. And so everything's been leading up to this point. How are you feeling? Are you feeling like confidence levels? How are you feeling? Or are you kind of the mind where you're thinking, what will happen will happen, you know, c'est la vie. Just like Little King and his assignment tonight. Extended pause. King, I hope you're going okay with your assignment, bro. Honestly, I really do. Burger, what did you say? Sorry, you're saying, AMS, by the way, 10th grade started for me. Hey, that's awesome, man. Getting older. Growing up so fast. No, that's cool, man. That's cool. And I imagine that that's changed the level of work that you're doing as well. It gets a little bit harder, and there's probably a little bit more of it, I guess. I don't know. You're not in the Australian education. I don't know how it works where you are, but and what do you do for maths in the 10th grade? Yeah, that's a good question, Burger. Let's do an intercultural like exchange here. This is cool. I like this. W. Oh, you got top 5th percentile of advanced English taken. Oh, congrats, man. That's fucking amazing. Oh, it's not really okay, I'm not going to say it's not amazing, but I'm saying, like, that's awesome. Like, but I would have expected it from what I know about you. Do you know what I mean? You seem to have the work ethic for it. So that's great, man. Congrats. That's dubs in chat for sure. Are old people allowed to say that? W's in chat for Sefik. Congratulations, Sefik. Congrats, man. That's awesome. So what now? I mean, actually, you said you wanted to, oh no, that's right. Who was it that said this about you? We made a short about this, didn't we? They said you were going to become a femboy streamer, didn't they? Was that Nasty? I think it was Nasty or Tides, one of those two. It was one of the bloody Dutch people, wasn't it? 10th grade is more like 6th, 7th, or 8th grade, so it's kind of easy for me. Oh. In terms of difficulty, it's the same as 6th, 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. Is that what you're telling me? Sorry. Yeah, Dub Cefic for sure. You didn't do almost anything ahead of the English exam. Whoa, no, you did too. That's not true. You were studying by being on the stream here with us. So you were studying hardcore. No, that's great, man. That's awesome. And that means that you're setting yourself up for whatever you want to do next, right? Femboy streaming. Winning. I can't keep a straight face. I'm sorry. I can't be that nasty to you guys. Like, I know that, yeah. I'm not very good at online trash talk, like banter. Not very good at it. Yeah. Anyway. So, hang on. How do I... I'm going to go out of this on the phone for a second. I want to see if we are... I would be interested to know if... No, see, I don't think we are. I don't think we're live. Wait. I just had this terrible feeling. What if my vertical stream... What if my vertical stream is streaming to my Sleep Story channel, I wonder? Let's see. Let's see if I've fucked this up that badly. Because I'm not saying they're like a different audience, but they are definitely... they're definitely different audiences, but they're not... Yeah, like, I actually love my audience over there. My core subscribers over there, like, they're the sweetest people. Like, they're so nice, eh? And they also are very accepting of the kind of vibe of the channel, which is for my sons. And so, like, I directly talk to my sons on that channel as though I'm talking to them, like, in 20 years' time. So, they're pretty accepting of that. Hang on, I'm just checking if... No, okay. No, I'm not streaming to that one, so I'm just not streaming at all. Weird. What am I doing? Oh, hang on, I've lost the chat. I don't even know what you guys are saying, if you're saying anything. Hang on. Don't leave me alone. Don't leave me behind. Hang on. Don't chat too quickly. So, in pure terms, that would make this, at the moment, would be like a Just Chats type channel right now. We haven't done anything else. But yeah, that's basically what has been going on. Hang on, where we go? There we go. I'm back in the chat. Femboy streaming and trash streaming seem to be the future of the Finnish economy. There's that Finnish humor. Yeah, no, that's you're such an optimist. Such an optimist about your economy. Probably about as optimistic as I am about our economy, I imagine. I'm actually pretty optimistic for the Australian economy compared to some others. I'll be honest with you. So what are you saying, AMS? For you, the difficulty of 10th is like that, but 9th grade difficulty was... Oh, it was higher. They changed 9th grade history book completely this year. Thank God I had to face the one I faced, which felt easier. Not gonna lie. Yeah, I can imagine. That's a bit of a gift, isn't it? Yeah, look, take the wins when you can. And what are you saying? I guess they relocate to Estonia for the 20% flat tax. Is that kind of like all those... There's a whole bunch of... I know it's like a common tactic for some streamers and some YouTubers that they head over to like South American countries and stuff to get this amazing tax rate, don't they? I don't know anything about what I'm talking about. Like I'll never lie to you guys if but I think that's a thing, isn't it? So you're saying Estonia is where you would go if you were going to do that? That'd be pretty funny. That's pretty cool. Yeah, so I definitely I've had a good time being away, but I've also really missed being away. Not a good time, like full circle back to what what are you talking about? The gambling advertising laws. As in better laws for people who want to gamble. Yeah, I can imagine. I'm pretty sure I should be able to get to channel how do I get a chat window up? Hang on. I'm sick of this. Not sick of this, but you know what I mean? Like, I just want to... Can I see the chat window, please? Oh, yeah. There we go. A&R streaming in 2026 is crazy. Why you say that? Oh, Built! Built! How did I miss you, bro? Built's here. Oh, everyone say hi to Built. Hi, Built. Oh, man. It's been 8 months. How are you, man? Yeah, it is crazy. Like, the fact that we've just spent a long time. How long have we been talking? Only a couple of minutes, hey, guys. Yeah, we've just been talking and catching up. This is just a yap session. It's turned into just a yap session. Hello! Thank you, Sefik. What a welcoming chap you are. Or as you would say where I come from, in the part of Australia I come from, you'd actually say, like... Are you allowed to say that on YouTube? Probably not. Yeah, but people use the word spelled C-U-N-T really affectionately where I come from. Like, you can be acting like a C-U-N-T and be that's bad. But if you say that someone's a sick C-U-N-T or a mad C-U-N-T, that means... Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you can be totally positive about it. So it's actually one of the best compliments you can get where I come from. If you're a mad, then you're doing well. You've done the right thing somewhere. So yeah, so good. Oh man, I've got the mystery of the vertical stream. I don't want to get too caught up in the tech. I think what's happened is it seems like that's a problem for another stream. Let's do that another stream. So yeah, I'll sort that out for another stream. I think it's still trying to stream to my other channel, the Sleep Story channel, but it's like I'm not logged into that, so obviously it doesn't like that. Pronounced the same way as a feminist writer, as in Kant. There's also Immanuel Kant, the philosopher. We could just start saying Kant. K-A-N-T. Pardon me, I've just coughed straight into the microphone. That's how you know it's live. Have you guys seen that AI guy? That little reel that's the short that's gone around of the AI, the interview with an AI like avatar, and it's a little bit too good to be true. Like, as in, like, it's too real. Like, he's got like he's speaking English with an accent, and he's got, I guess everyone has an accent when they speak English. But you know what I mean? Like, he's got, and it's like a Eastern European-ish kind of accent, maybe. And they're like, oh, can you show us your qualifications? And he even reaches back behind him to get the certificate and brings it back and shows it. But it's not a certificate for him, it's for his boss. And then they ask him to go, like, oh yeah, if you could just, could you just like raise 3 fingers across in front of your face like that? And he's like, oh, like, maybe, yeah. And he puts up 2, like, in front of his chest, and he's like, there you go. And they're like, no, 3 in front of your face. You know, have you seen that one? Jim Browning. Would I stream regularly from today? Yeah, I would love to. AMS, I'd love to get more into it again. Oh, yeah, do you want to see this little chroma key setup that I have, by the way? That I started talking about 1 hour ago? Because, like, obviously, if I do this... Wah, it's not perfect, because I literally just used what I had. But if I sit really still, and I angle it the right way... There we go, hang on. That's not perfect, is it? It's not great. But yeah, it's pretty good. If I fiddle around with it, if I fiddle around with it a bit more, I can get rid of that strip there as well. But, oh, that's probably because of this. Hang on. No. Yeah. No. Worse. Anyway. Damn it, that's annoying me now. Yeah, so I can get it pretty good, considering the fact that it's just a blue bit of cloth. The way that I made it extra blue screen, because I don't have anything green, I thought I'd try and see how it went first, is I've got this little setup down here at the back. I've literally got this little light that I've, like an influencer light here, and I've put it on, it wasn't really working very well at all. Then I was like, hey, what if I actually put, like, because it can change the color of the light to all these different colors. So I was like, maybe I'll just make it a blue light. And so once I changed it to blue, it made it extra blue. Hang on, what is going on now? There's always something wrong with you, isn't there, camera? And since it became extra blue, it's worked really well, considering how dodgy it is. Hang on. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty good, right? Hang on, I'll just lower myself. Boop. So yeah, now I'm a floating torso. Ooh. So while we're in this view, Nasty is back. Nasty! Bro! Hang on. Hey, Nasty! Ah, you little Dutch muffin, welcome back. Welcome back. How are you? Have you, how's your ranking? How's your ranking in World Guys? It's so good to see you in the chat, man. Ah, that's great. Nasty is back. Yes, of course. Yep. Straight back into it. Amazing. Nasty, bro. Ah, it's good to see you in chat, man. Ah, you're lovely. And your ranking is? Not. Oh, you haven't been playing. What happened? Why'd you fall off? Have you discovered this thing called real life? Like, what's going on? What happened, man? Yeah, I think maybe like once, just before Christmas, just before I sent out that message to you guys on the Discord, I remember, sorry, I was having a little drink. I went and I binged all the shorts. I went back to the channel and I was like, the good old times. You know, like all those, like 4 months ago or something. And I was like, oh yeah, I'll just watch the shorts. And that one with you getting that, what was it, 4,600 and something? 4,000, it was something ridiculous. Amazing on that round we did. It was amazing. You think none of us are playing it? Oh no, AMS. Seth is so close to what? To my chat. Seth is so close to my chat. XP right now. Oh, in the chat. Okay, right. Yes, the chat XP is very serious. What would a real streamer say? Yes, you must keep on chatting for the XP. It's okay, MS. It's okay. I still value you as an individual. It's okay. I was going to, yeah, real life. Hey, busy with uni. How's it going at uni? You'd be fresh into uni then. Hey, that's great, man. That's great. The big wide world. Yeah. What a time to be going through uni in 2025, 2026. Interesting. Yeah. Are you going to do an exchange in America? Become an exchange student in America? Anybody? Pretty good time to be going to America. We all happy about that? Sorry, I'm not going to get political. Okay. So, what are you saying? You'll remember to end the stream with game over. Oh, we need to come up with a sign-off or something like that. Hey, do you remember when we had voice command chats? That was pretty good. Like, chat voice commands. We might have to go back to that. I might have to figure that out again. I think it was called SmartBot. Just busy with Arabic homework. But yeah, I started right after you quit streaming. So you started that, and Sefik was just saying that he started his final exams straight after I kind of gave it away for a bit as well. So I must have... Oh, and didn't... No, Nasty, was it you that had just gotten your results? Remember that stream where we stayed back? Everyone else had left and we just hung out and you were talking about your results and you'd just been accepted and stuff like that. Was that you? Or was that Tides? No, I just remember it was one of you two. Oh, you know, that's right, because Tide's way younger than you, hey. That's right. So it would have been you. Yeah, that chat was hilarious. Yeah. 5K. Oh yeah, the 5K. Yeah. Yeah, they were a lot of fun to make. I was pretty glad at the time that you guys couldn't see my face when I was going like, you know, like But I'm much more comfortable on a camera than I used to be. To be fair, like if I had streamed with my face showing, like if I hadn't done faceless at that point, it would have been a really different stream because I probably would have been sitting here like this, like. Yes. Welcome. This is a stream on YouTube. Welcome. Welcome to, you know what I mean? I would have been so nervous. Like I would have been so fucking nervous. And I've gotten much better at that through trial and error with other channels, but also just, I think, like real talk, I think something broke inside me a little bit when this is something we were talking about. Like I'm very good at like letting strands of a conversation just hang loose right in front of my face, and then eventually they slap me like wet spaghetti again, and I come back around to them. But yeah, when our dog died, look, she was bitten by a brown snake, an eastern brown. I'm pretty sure it would have either been an eastern brown or a taipan, and either one of those is not good news, not only for your dogs but for your kids. And so I went into this mega existential crisis mode. And when I streamed to you guys about it, I think it had only happened less than 72 hours before. I think like it was really soon afterwards, and I'm still processing it. Sorry, what's going on in the chat? You just figured out you passed a couple of weeks before. That's right. Yeah, that would have been you. Yeah, we were talking about it. I think it was after your big game, like your massive round when we played. Yeah. Is gaming going to be tomorrow's stream, or would we have it here? Is gaming going to be like tomorrow's stream? I don't know. At this point, we've left it so late. We might be doing it tomorrow, unless you guys have if there's group consensus that we're just going to keep on, like, going to go to the chat. Really, I wanted to just really have a proper catch up tonight and just get everything out of the way so we can just kind of jump back into it next stream. But I don't really know what it is going to be. We'll talk about that in a second. Let that little conversation thread just dangle here in front of my face, like a tiny wing wang, and then it'll slap me in the face when I get around to it. But I definitely, thanks AMS, thanks man. So yeah, basically, when I streamed that last time, I was basically, I was fucking out of it. Like I'd had to bury our dog. She's a big dog. Like the physical side of it was, she was like 45 kilo. They're both big dogs. They're both bull Arab, which is a type of hunting dog, crossed with Great Dane, crossed with Mastiff, Dane Mastiff. So like another big dog, right? And in Australia, that mix is quite common, like in bastard breeds, like in mongrel breeds. And so they're really big dogs, and they're really like out of the two dogs, I would have figured that she would be the one to get bitten, because if they saw a snake, the other one would probably go behind, like Zelda would go behind and Xena would go in front and go for it. And then Zelda would probably be like nipping around the side, coming around the side and trying to get it. So I was really disappointed. At first I was really disappointed in just I was really sad about the actual death of our dog. But then I was also really, I was pretty disappointed in myself, because we own enough land that it's quite hard to keep it clean, tidy and stuff like that, because of the amount of, like, we grow a lot of fruit trees. This is like the most weird thing to talk about when I'm talking on a stream in a recording booth with all this equipment around me, but like 5 meters that way, outside the shed, is a massive orchard. of fruit trees and my house and the rest of my life, you know. But it feels very separate when I'm in here. I feel like I'm in another like space and time. But she actually died. She died about like 4 meters that way, at the edge of the shed. And so all I could think about was like, there's a brown snake living like in the shed, and usually where you find one brown snake, you find two, because they usually they're mating couples. They mate together, like obviously, and so they kind of hang around together usually most times of the year. We have lots of pythons around, like scrub pythons and diamond-backed pythons, like the equivalent, you know, yeah, that kind of stuff. And they're fine. They're not poisonous, but we've got 2 young kids, and I was like processing everything. And so eventually it just got too much for me. The streaming stuff plus work, I had to pick up at work, like pick up shifts and stuff like that, because we had to start saving for this holiday we were going to go on. And so it was all it was a clusterfuck, I'll be honest with you guys. And so like, I really do apologize that I left it so abruptly and just didn't get back to you. But I fully felt, I felt like I'd started something that I couldn't keep on going, but I'd started it with the full intention of keeping on going. And I just stopped because it was just too much to process at the time. So yeah, I do really appreciate, yeah. What are you saying? You're munching on every snack that reaches your hand. Nice. Makes sense, mate. Yeah, cheers. Yeah, real life is more important. Yeah, no, every time. But the thing is, like, I subscribe to the idea. I'm finding out as I get older, over and over again, whenever I try and do the growing up thing of, you know, taking back, like rolling back all the stuff that I enjoy to do as a passion project. Like Sefik, when you said there's no such thing as a passion project without passion, you're exactly right. My challenge has always been not that I have not enough passion for passion projects. It's been that, you know, I'll completely dive headfirst into them. There's a reason that we have like 170 something species of fruit tree and fruit bush and vine and veggies and all that kind of stuff. There is a reason for that, and it's because I got obsessed with it. Like, I probably have ADHD, you know, I'm probably a bit neurospicy as well, you know, like a bit neurodivergent. And that's fine, like that's by the by. That's not relevant really to that. But what I'm saying is, like, whenever I quit something because I'm trying to take back, like you say, Stump, real life is more important, but there is a balance. You know, there's quite clearly a balance, especially with me, and I guess you guys are probably noticing this as well in your own life. If you're just focusing on the things that everyone else thinks you should be focusing on, that, you know, you don't have a passion for, there's only so long you can do that without trying to, you know, what we would say in teaching is subverting the system a little bit, or trying to find moments where you can have a bit of fun. And yeah, I know this is like old news, but you need to have a hobby, you need to have a passion. And yeah, I think YouTubing is consistently what it's become in the last 2 years for me. So I had to come back. I couldn't stay away. And I have been YouTubing with other channels, but that's the other thing as well. I've been trying to figure out, at first I was like, maybe I should put all my eggs in the basket of the garden channel. Start actually like planning some videos and doing some challenges and stuff like that. Maybe I should start focusing on the sleep story channel, or the audiobook narration channel for the kids. And maybe I should just start pumping out. There is a certain, I won't say what it is because you'll go and find it. I'm not ready to show you guys that just yet, but maybe there is a certain, there's a certain book series of there's a classic children's and young adults fiction series that is in the public domain that does much better on that channel for views. And I was like, maybe I should just start reading those and like pumping out one of those a week, and just so I can get up 50 a year, and then I'll probably monetize within the year. But then I also had that other channel I made before Christmas, with talking about videos and films and like that kind of stuff, like media analysis and opinion pieces. And then, I've come full circle to come back here. I think what is actually happening is my mind is compartmentalizing all my different interests into YouTube niches. And it's kind of like personifying my interests into YouTube channels. And I have been trying to fight that. But I think what I'm going to have to do is I'm just going to have to embrace it. That's where I'm at the moment. Just for full disclosure, like I'm going to try and keep them all running. Sometimes this channel will be the most important, the one that I pay most attention to. And sometimes it'll be at the other channels. And I think the way that we're going to have to insulate against that, buffer for that, is that I'm going to just have to set some realistic limits for every single channel. So like, for example, when you guys were asking, are you going to be streaming regularly? Was that you, AMS? I was like, thinking like, yeah, maybe I should be streaming every day. At the moment, I feel like streaming every day on this channel and the audiobook channel. The other channels, though, I know for a fact will come back, and I'll be interested in them within the next couple of weeks. I'll be like, where my other channels at, So I think what I'm going to have to do is, at some point in the next day or two, I'm going to have to come up with a streaming schedule that suits, A, like you say, Nasty, real life, and B, the fact that I know that I'll be trying to fill those gaps between the scheduled streams with stuff from the other channels. And that will also give me a bit more time to plan the streams. They're not going to be really planned. Like, I just like hanging out on the internet, and this channel is really about doing, I want to try out some games. I want to do some gaming, but it's going to be very like, my version of gaming is not like other people's version of gaming. It's not too intense. There'll be lots of yapping, AMS. So, get used to that. And like, I feel like I fucking hate the hypocrisy of other channels, because I'm old enough and cynical enough, I guess, to see when people say to their subscribers, like, like when they say, like, chuck a like down below and hit that subscribe, it really helps the channel. I feel like I really want to build a community where da-da-da-da. And like, they don't give a fuck. I'm sorry, like, I've worked with too many channels, like, if they care, that's not true. I'm sure that's not true. I'm sure there are lots of creators out there that do really care. But I feel like I don't feel like they're upfront enough about it. Most of the people that I watch, they're pretty upfront. They're like, I need to make this channel profitable. I need you to comment below. You know what I mean? I like those channels. And I feel like that's the model that I'll be taking, if that's a thing. You know what I mean? Like, if I ever am like really into, like, I'm like, guys, we got to figure out a way to get more subs, I'll be leaning on you guys, because like, you're the OGs. You seem to be keen on, we'll get this together. You know what I mean? I don't know what I can promise in return. Like, but I really appreciate that you guys have come back. It's just fucking awesome. And yeah, I love having chats with you guys. I love finding out more about, it's really interesting to meet. We've got a diverse group of people here. Like, when else would you meet these people? You know what I mean? It's cool. Anyway, sorry, I've been neglecting the chat. Hang on. Life's not important. No, that's what you would have done as well. Yeah, Cephik. Yeah, I think it was the logical choice to make. And if I'd stayed, I think I would have gone a little bit, not crazy, that's not the right word, but I think the tone of the streams would have shifted with my mental state. And I don't know if it would have been negative. I don't know if it would have come across as negative, but it possibly would have had a really negative effect on my mental health. And if it has that effect on me, like, I'm not responsible for just me, and I haven't been for years. Obviously, I haven't mentioned, we've got like 50 ducks as well. Did I mention that? They're called Muscovy ducks. Here, I'll show you a picture of a Muscovy duck. They're pretty rad. We've got Muscovy ducks, and obviously we've got our kids. They're actually more of a goose. They're more related to geese than ducks. And they're massive. They're huge. They're bigger than normal ducks. Yeah, see, here's... Yeah, like oh no, that's not the right thing. Anyway, this is them, and they got these really cool, like, masks. They're rad, eh? Look at that. Look at that. And they also don't quack. They don't quack at all. They, You're waiting patiently. Thank you for waiting patiently. I am definitely, I'm definitely more responsible for more than just myself. And yeah, I think it would have suffered. Everything would have suffered through me continuing. So yeah, I think you're right, Sefik. I think it was the right move to make. Sorry, I'm just looking at the chat here. So because I know AMS, you are waiting patiently. Thanks, man. I appreciate that you're waiting patiently. Cheers, man. Losing a pet is hard. Yeah, and nasty. Like I was kind of. I was trying to imply before. Yeah, at first I was sad for the dog. I'm still sad for our dog, Xena, right? I'm also sad for her sister. It's a lot lonelier for her now, and we can't commit to getting another dog at the moment. Not just because of time, but also money. Like, things are tighter this year. It's fucked. 2026 is fucked. I'm not going to blame any one particular individual, but I will blame global economics and politics. Let's just put it that way. If you know what I'm saying. And if you don't know what I'm saying, then just pretend that I'm saying the right thing that makes you not angry at me about my political views, and then just pretend I'm talking about that. Blame AI. Sure. But who's in charge of the AI? A bunch of crypto billionaires. A bunch of fuckers. So you're right. It's all mixed up together. It's more complex than I can ever figure out. I mean, I'm sure you're much smarter than I am. And you do AI as a lesson, as a class, so that's pretty cool. I already published the Epstein short. Did I? Did I talk about Epstein? Were we talking about Epstein last year? Who's this Epstein character? No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding. Oh, there's a thing missing. Okay, hang on. I'm catching up. Yeah, so I was grieving for that. And then I was just worried about the kids. I was full-blown panicking for the kids. Like, I'm a stressor. But I also am very ambitious. So, like, you know, I'll plant all these fruit trees and then expect that we won't have rats somehow. You know, because, like, you know, you have fruit, you're going to have a couple of rats running around. And that's why we had the dogs. The dogs don't chase rats. But you know what chases rats? Snakes. And if you have snakes, then you've obviously got a whole bunch of issues in a country where we have, like, so many deadly snakes. Like, so deadly. And yeah, so I was just freaking out. At some point, I considered ripping down every fruit tree we own, razing everything to the ground, and just turning it into one massive lawn, and then becoming one of those dads that mows every weekend and, like, keeps their lawn this short. They exist. There's lots of them out there. But I'm working through that, and I'm trying to come to a compromise. We can talk about that another day, what I'm doing in the garden. You've lost lots of pets, which you had. It's just heartbreaking. You don't have any pets now. Yeah. Also, look, that's one way to go about it. AMS. If you choose not to have any pets, it's kind of like saying, I won't ever start a relationship because I know at some point I might risk getting my heart broken. But it's even worse than that, I guess, because your pet's definitely going to die at some point, because life and death happens. You know, I used to listen to a whole bunch of parenting stuff, like podcasts and stuff, like when our kids were babies. And I don't listen to much of it anymore because I'm too busy being a parent to try and be a good parent. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm just in the thick of it. I'm trying to do it. And my wife and I, we are each other's therapists when it comes to our kids. We're always talking about, anyway, I won't get into that. Get into that another day, but parenting's it's a fun challenge, and it's the best thing you can ever do, but it's also fucking exhausting. Another reason why streaming can take its toll, you know, probably the most important reason why you should quit streaming if you need to is for your family, right? Family first. But yeah, no, and one of the parenting podcasts was talking about the best pet to buy for your child, especially if you have a boy, because they were talking about, like, boys have have it stacked against them in terms of learning about empathy and sympathy for others and how to treat other people kindly and be good to themselves and take care of their own mental and social health and things like that. And their emotional resilience. And I agree with all that. I feel like we live in a whole bunch of fucked up societies that expect the man to be the tough one. And I don't think I've ever felt like a tough person in my life in the way that other people wanted me to be tough. I grew up in the Australian outback, and there was a very specific way you're supposed to be tough. I became a state representative runner, ran for Australia as a teenager, like a long distance runner. But that wasn't considered tough enough because it was the wrong sport for where I lived. So I didn't play rugby league, right? So, and then when I became a grown up, like an adult, although that process is still happening, I'm not responding at the moment to adulthood. So, but I feel like you never really feel like, I know a lot of guys that feel the same. We're all approaching middle age and we're all still kind of living in a child's mentality of like, we should be doing this. We should be thinking this way. Because that's how we thought that our dads and our uncles and the men in our life as kids were dealing with life. That's what we thought we should be. Like, that's what they said they were thinking about. But it turns out, like, my dad died 2 years ago. Another reason why I got into YouTubing, because I just thought, as a way of processing grief, I think, but also always in the back of my mind, like just providing a record of just me showing my kids that I had interests, and it's a concrete record of my voice and me just chatting shit and having a good time and showing them what their dad was like. And I feel like if you looked at any one of my channels, you wouldn't get a complete picture of myself, of me. But if you look at them all together, which they possibly will in the future, if they're ever wondering, what their dad was like was this picture of all these little bits of himself put together. And YouTube is a good way to do that for me. So it's kind of like the whole, oh, Jesus. Sorry. The whole thing is kind of like a passion project. And so I was listening to this lady and she was talking about the best pet to get for your kids, your boys, is a hamster or a guinea pig. And you should get it for them when they are no older than 5 or 6 years old, I think it was. And she was saying it was because by the time that hamster has grown, they grow quickly. They are very kid-friendly, very friendly pets to have as a kid. But also they don't live for more than, like on average, they die pretty young. Like, you've probably got them for 4 to 7 years, at the most. I think that's right. And she said, and the reason that you want to get that for your kids, especially your boys, is because they learn how to deal with responsibility, how to empathize and sympathize. They learn routine. They learn all these useful things. But they also learn how to love, because it's a really easy pet to love because they're so damn helpless. You know what I mean? They die easily. So you got to learn how to love them, or at least learn how to get along with them. And then obviously to deal with loss. And the reason she said don't do it after the age of, 5 or 6 is because by the time that hamster is dying, they're anywhere between 8 to 12 years old, whatever and that's a time when developmentally, like if they're getting to high school and they haven't dealt with loss, and I see this on a daily basis, like people who have seen too much loss in their lives as kids coming into high school, they are the definition of a particular type of trauma. But I also feel like a kid that comes into high school lacking a certain amount of empathy for things that others and themselves have lost, like it's almost a type of neglect to me. Like I know that's really judgy, but like it is nice for your kid to know what loss is, and if they've never lost a relative, that's great. That's obviously great, but they've at least lost a hamster and had to bury a hamster in the backyard. Do you know what I mean? Or chuck it in the bin, as the case may be. Yeah. I can't remember. Yeah, losing a pet is hard. But my point is, AMS, at least you know what it's like to lose something, because it's an important skill to have, and people don't tell you how to deal with that. Like, you can't tell someone how to deal with loss. You can write some really bloody nice poetry, and you can hope that someone will understand the feeling of loss. But it's not something that you can understand until you feel it. It's just one of those human things. And so why would you want to also? Why would you want to, why would you want to put someone on, through true loss early? A pet is a good way to get used to it, so that when it doesn't debilitate you when you're trying to live your adult life. And it's really, I'm sad that you've had to go through that, mate, but at least you know. And yeah, sure, no pets anymore. Why not? That's, now that you've done it, you know what you're in for. So if you've made that choice, good on you. Good on you. Add a voice for this. What? Hey, look at the chat. Oh, I see. So you want me to make a voice command saying, like, reminding me so you can remind me to look at the chat? Yeah, okay. Yeah, actually, I will commit to that. Should I make it like angry, I'll make it like just reminding someone, like, hey, don't forget to look at the chat. I'll try. Okay, AMS, I'll do that. What else have I got? You patiently waiting to look at the chat, yeah. I don't know what the Epstein short, what are you talking about? The past 3 minutes that you had to go to the phone for that time. Oh, AMS, I was actually talking to you, bro. That's okay. Watch it on the replay. It's okay. But basically, I was just saying, like, it's never great to go through loss, but at least now that you've owned pets and seen them die, you at least know what that loss is like. That, yeah. Thank you, Cephik, once again, summarizing my yap with like one sentence. You should be doing this stream, bro. When's our podcast starting? Oh, okay. Here's I've put this to about 5 different people in the last 2 days, all right? Hear me out. Tell me if this is a bad idea or a terrible idea. It's one of those two. And if it's only a bad idea, I don't think it's worth doing. But if it's a terrible idea, I think it's definitely worth trying. All my terrible ideas work out well-ish. So I want to start a podcast with another person, and like we meet up once a week, or we connect once a week, and our podcast is literally just us. We spend all week writing down, whenever we think of one, ideas for podcasts. And then we spend our podcast talking about our podcast ideas. I'm just saying, it could be a $1 billion idea. Because like I feel like I get all these podcast ideas all the fucking time. And there are so many out there. It's ridiculous, like the amount of podcasts there are out there. It's like the amount of I went onto Twitch for like the first time in months and months. Like I said, I've watched about 3 Twitch streams in my life, and then four actually, because one of them was my own when I was doing it last night. But every time I go onto that front page, like once you actually start digging into those, there are people doing some bizarre shit. Have you seen those ASMR microphones that people use that basically looks like a double-ended dildo? It's fucking weird, man. It's not, okay, whoa. Let's back up. I didn't just call ASMR weird, because that would be rude. It's not for me. But I do understand that there's a huge market for it. And if you're taking part in it, like I said, the Sleep Story channel was a little bit ASMR. Like I took away some of the editing to get some more, yeah. I do get it. Because I looked at one of the channels and I watched one of the streams the other day, like yesterday, before I logged on. And I was like, at first I was just kind of like, I didn't really understand it, and then I was watching it, and then I was like, after a while, I was actually like, this is kind of nice. Like, you have to be so willing to be so vulnerable to do ASMR, right? And really self-confident. And because that is how you're presenting yourself, it is really relaxing to be around, and you feel comfortable being around someone who has such self-confidence. Do you know what I mean? And after a while, I was like, for a second, I was like, you know what? I could totally, maybe I should subscribe to this, like, or follow this, because you don't subscribe, you follow and then you subscribe, don't you? I was like, maybe I should follow this channel. And then I was like, nah. I was like, I'll find them again if I need to. But like, there's a whole bunch of people out there that when they say ASMR, they basically just mean like softcore, like gooning porn, don't they, basically? But I feel like true ASMR really isn't, I don't know. Yeah, like it's comforting to be, in a way. I get it. Like I don't gel with it completely, but I at least understand it a bit more after the last couple of days. What are you saying? My favorite podcasts are the ones by banks that get like 10 listeners. What? Is that a thing? What do they post about? Like, what are their podcast episodes about? Now that's a good podcast idea. We could do, like, we could have a podcast where we talk about all the bank podcasts and we rank them. But they have to all be bank podcasts that have less than 20 listeners. You know what I mean? But yeah, what do they talk about in a bank podcast that is like, do you know what I mean? Like, what are they talking about in those podcasts? That's bizarre. Do they just talk about like their local banking stuff? Or do they talk about financial stuff? What are you saying? AMS says, is it just me or everyone when we had time, we don't have ideas? When we do have ideas, we don't have time. It's just an intersection which meet once in eternity and we still miss it out. That's a game changer that you've come across there, AMS, because you're exactly right, man. That is what we call, that's part of what I call anyway, in English teaching, you'd call that the human condition. So if you're, the human condition is what it means to be human. And I feel like we're full of those, aren't we? We're full of those weird little contradictions that make life so fucking frustrating. But also, that's what makes us human. You know what I mean? And every time you see a video that's like a hack video, when they're like, you need to hack your productivity and blah, blah, blah. You know, like, here's 7 tips how to organize your day. Especially someone who, like Sefik, you watch like bank podcasts. I watch, like, I've started looking a lot at, like, not on purpose, but my algorithm has picked it up, stuff about ADHD and ASD in adults, because I'm like truly curious. I'm like I'm like, what am I? You know, who am I? Who are we? You know? And so, like, part of that is like, what is ADHD? What is ASD? I know how it presents in teens and stuff like that, but in adults, it seems to be, like, a lot of adults go through adolescence without knowing they have it, because they just figure it out. They figure out how to get through life. And that's what we call being human, I know. But, like, we live in a world where you don't have to, there are certain parts of that are quite fucking hard to deal with, in certain social situations and emotional situations. And so, yeah, I'm like trying to figure that out myself on the side, you know. And so what comes up in my feed are all these channels that are like, it thinks that I just want to, like, learn productivity hacks for people with ADHD. And I watch them and I just laugh at most of them, because I'm like, yeah, I tried that. Yeah, I tried that. Yeah, I tried that. I can't do that. Like, I can't stay focused on that. Yeah, AMS though, it's one of those little funny things. The other one as well that I was talking to a couple of kids at a school the other day, and they were talking about, they wanted to buy this car and they wanted to be able to do it before they were 16. They wanted to buy a car that was way too expensive. I don't know anything about cars, but I was like, from what little I know, I was like, that's going to be, you know, X amount, at least, right? If you're going to get a second-hand one even. And they were like, yeah. And I was like, well, have you considered maybe buying, you know, one that's a bit beaten up that you can fix? And they went, yeah, that's what I'm going to do. And I was like, oh, okay, cool, that's fine. But then I was like, that's still going to be X amount. And I said, are your parents making you save up for it, or are they going to help you out? And they went, no, they're making me save up for it. And I went, well, have you got a job? And they were too young even to have a job, right? But they were like, I'm going to get one when I'm old enough. And I was like, okay, cool. And I was like, what job are you going to get? Because have you done the maths on that? Because that's going to take about 3 years of saving if you work, X amount of hours, and you do this many hours at this rate of pay, which is the minimum wage for you. We looked it all up on the spot. Like, I got my phone out and we just had a look. And I was like, it's going to take you 3 years. So you'll be about a year out of date, like over your deadline of saving up for this. What are you going to do? And they just went, oh, I might just get 2 jobs then. And I was like, or I might just see if I can work extra. And I was like, man, to be young again. You'll be right back? Oh, yeah, cool. You need some pics of the physics classwork. Oh, you're a good friend. Good on you, AMS. And I was really interested because finally this saying really came into effect. In this moment, I was like, boys, like, this is just when you're young, like you're rich in time, and you're obviously not rich in money. And I was like, the older you get, like you'll become richer. It is easier to become richer, well, rich enough in terms of finances, but like time becomes the real thing that you treasure, and it's the currency. Time is the real currency. To which they responded, yeah, whatever, sir. But they, and I get that, because when I was a kid, I was just like, I'll just work harder and I'll work longer than anyone else, and I'll just save up all the money, and I'll have so much money, I'll be so rich. When you've got nothing, when you are earning a minimum wage, and this is logic, right? Like and you're trying to get ahead in terms of getting some money, then like you just willingly give up your time and you think you're making a sacrifice then, but like you look now, and if you're going to work, that much as a kid, like I remember I worked at Pizza Hut, was my first job, and I was working about, I think, like 12 to 15 hours a week, but I was also training 7 days a week, and 4 of those days was twice a day. And as well as that, I'd usually have, not always, I'm not trying to but I'd usually have a girlfriend. So I'd be hanging out with my girlfriend, or I'd be hanging out with my friends down at the river, our local river, like, swimming and riding around, all that kind of stuff. Or I'd be playing the N64, the Nintendo 64, or I'd be whatever, you know what I mean? Like, I'd be doing stupid teenager bullshit that is the best time of your life. But I'd also be working on top, and I thought I was sacrificing all this time, but like, Jesus, like, I wish, if I could go back, I wish I had not worked at all. I should have just like, not bought a new pair of fancy sunglasses every year, and not gone to I didn't have to go to the movies. Like, I used to love going to the movies, so I'd go like once every month with my friends, which was good, but like they could all afford it a lot more than I could. And I was just, why was I thinking that I had to work to do that? You know what I mean? Like, just don't go to the movie. You're much richer in time when you're a kid, and so you value it less. I value my free time a lot more now. Obviously, not so much that I want to get a good night's sleep. I am going to go in the next 20 minutes, by the way, guys. I do have work in the morning, but I've got a late start, so it's manageable. But yeah, I definitely, it really hits at home to you when you start getting older, and the things that take up your time are non-negotiable, or a lot less negotiable, or easily negotiable. Family is not negotiable. Nor should it be. And all this stuff. And the thing is, when I was a teenager, I knew all this. I had a dad who was a bit older, and so he'd always be talking to me about this stuff, just like I'm talking to you about it now, except imagine me with grayer hair, and just, actually, no, it's pretty much the same, just with grayer hair, but saying the same stuff. And I'm sure he didn't expect this stuff to sink in yet, but he would always say, like, you don't understand. And I'd say, yeah, no, I get it. And he'd be like, no, you don't understand. And now, obviously, I'm like, yeah, he's exactly right. And now I'm telling you guys this. Yeah, or anyone out there, it doesn't matter how old you are, this is relevant knowledge. Yeah, you haven't got time to be sitting and doom scrolling. But I'm not saying that you won't, and I'm not saying you should feel guilty for doing it. It's not even your fucking fault at this point. I think we're all addicted. So addicted. Anyway. Blah, blah, blah. Old man talking. What are you talking about, AMS? Your right arm seems more muscular. Well, that's a weird thing to say. Thanks, man. I love your honesty. I think it's because one is... I don't know. I've never even thought of that. Which one's my left arm? That's my left arm. I'm left-handed, man. So that one's probably bigger than that one. But I don't know. I never thought about that. I think it's because, yeah, the left... Oh, they're holding one's holding my head and one's gripping on. So I think that's what it is. I don't know. I actually am getting... Here's my mouse. This is, once again, just my bullshit. Oh God, I've got the chroma key on, hang on. So here's the mouse that I've got. It's like relatively cheap. I can't really see it in this light. But it's got a couple of buttons. It's not bad for MMOs and stuff like that and gaming. Not that I ever need it for that. I use it a lot I've hotkeyed it. I used to have it more comprehensively hotkeyed for voiceover. And, but the way that I never thought I would get an RSI like tennis elbow from using a mouse. But here we are. Like, I'm getting this really bloody weird pain. So I'm looking at getting... Have you guys ever used one of those vertical mice? Where I think it's like 57 degrees. You know the ones where you hold it like that? You know the ones I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. I bet you all know exactly. Logitech. Yeah, Logitech. Yeah. Oh, is this Logitech? Yeah, it must be. Yeah, Logitech. Logitech is like the best kind of brand I can get from our big box, our local, what they call big box store. Ours is called Big W, like department store, the chain department store. What am I looking at? Vertical mouse, 57 degrees. Like one of these guys, you know what I'm saying? They look mega weird. I'd love to try one. Because you hold your hand like that instead of like that. And I feel like that's what's doing it. It's getting me right in here. And it makes you feel old, fellas. Makes you feel old. Yeah. Ergonomic mice. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, ergonomic mice. What are your PC specs? I've asked this like last year too. How do I find that out again? I don't know. I'm not really a PC guy. Like, I don't know much about what I own. I know that I bought something at the time that had a lot of RAM. It's an older mini PC. Oh man, I'll have to somehow figure out a way to show you just outside the booth. Because obviously I don't keep my tower in here. I keep it outside the booth because it makes the noise. And obviously I don't want noise or vibrations for the microphone for when I'm recording, for audiobooks and stuff like that. And so it's outside. And so imagine, if you will, the outside wall of like the other side of this wall here, there's like, I've put a platform coming out from the edge of it. And I'm actually going to change this soon, with a little strut. So I've got a platform, I've got a strut coming out to it. And on top of that, I've got a couple of strips of wood to elevate it off the ground, off the platform. And then on top of that, I've got a foam pad, which is actually just like a bit of an old mattress. And then on top of that, I've got the computer, and that's to dull the vibrations. And that's to keep everything outside away from in here. So I actually don't see it very often. I have to go outside to turn it off and on. And yeah, it's only small. Like it's not one of those true mini PCs, but it's relatively small, like about that. Good times. I like it. Don't show your PC specs live on stream. Oh, how come? Probably nothing there, but just in case. Oh yeah, cool. So just in case AMS is trying to hack me. No, I'm sure you're not trying to hack me, bro. But yeah, like I honestly don't. It's not important to me. I'll be honest with you. But like, I know that it's enough to run this. I basically looked up stuff that would be like good enough for audio work, and that was enough for me. What are you saying there, Midnight? What's going on? Yo, Midnight. We are. It's ironic. It's past midnight now, and here is Midnight coming into the chat. Yeah, I am. Oh, we are jumping through space and time. Space and time equals topics. Yeah, man, we're just literally... We're chatting shit. And you guys are getting to hear the music. I don't actually have the music in the background. So I'm literally sitting in silence, just chilling out. So, like I said at the start of the stream and in the post on Discord, I'm really glad that it's basically just been us. I don't think anyone new's come into the chat, as far as I can see. And basically, this is just a catch-up. Midnight can talk about Midnight. Yeah, that's a good one. I'm very keen to get back to streaming. I need to figure out a schedule that's going to work for the other channels and for my life in general, to make it sustainable, so that I don't end up just dropping it again if it becomes too overwhelming. And I don't want to do that to you guys mostly. Like, I don't care about myself as much as I care about, yeah, it just felt like, it felt low. It felt like a low move to leave you guys in the lurch. I know that you guys were expecting me to come back much sooner, and I felt a bit ashamed about it and a bit embarrassed. And I'm keen to get back into having some fun playing some games, man. A bit of Minecraft would be fun, but I don't want to focus on just one game. I don't want to be... I wouldn't mind jumping around a bit, but I also have... I know that my PC is not really built for proper MMO stuff or sandbox stuff or like proper FPS stuff even. Like, it's probably not going to handle much, especially if it requires a connection. But what I have you here, I'll get... Oh, hang on. Can I do this? I can do this. Steam recommendations. I was thinking about getting into a couple of Steam games. Now, the one that I was thinking that I'd love to have a crack at. You guys heard of Mage Arena? You know Mage Arena? It came out like last year, and it uses voice commands to cast spells, but I think it's also like, it's kind of like an FPS, isn't it? So I'd love to have a crack at that. Hang on, let me just get this up. I think I can get Steam up here. I'll just add a new media source in the old window capture. Steam. Okay. And Steam. Okay. I guess you guys can probably see that. I'm just going to trim it down a little bit. And just take away some edges here. Put it over... Oh no, we'll stretch it out a bit. And we'll pop it up here. And I'll pop it down under here. Oh no, where's it gone? Is Steam there? Hello, Steam? Oh no, there we go. So, here's Steam. Right, I was thinking of doing Mage Arena. What do we think? Next team is Bed Wars. Bedrock Edition. Yeah, I see that you're very keen to show us your new skills. And I can see that you've been practicing. You said you've been practicing a lot. That's awesome, man. That's awesome. I'll have a go at it. I'll have a go at some Bed Wars. It won't take up like the whole stream though, but I'm definitely keen to have a crack. And I've lost all my knowledge of Minecraft because, you know, I was an actual pro and I was really good at it, remember? So obviously I'm joking and I was fucking terrible. But that tiny little bit of skill that I had, the only thing I remember is that Little King kept on, you know, ganking me every time. He was like spawn killing me. That's all I remember, and I just remember being like, oh. Rage baited, completely rage baited, man. Gaming is like for like next stream. Yeah, I think so. Don't feel too bad. I never would have returned. Oh, right. You would have never started anything. Oh, Sefik, man. You say that you never would have started anything. But I think once our podcast, talking about podcast ideas starts, I think we'll get you in the money, my friend. Right, what do we got here? Oh, hang on, I've got to move the chair so that it doesn't take away the screen. Okay, right. Where's Steam at? Now, are you guys seeing that? Yes, you are. Okay, right. So. Here we go. I'm trying to get it so I can see both. Okay, so what do we want to do? Because Mage Arena looks like fun to me. Want to know something? Yeah.
It has been debated.
Now, I don't know if you guys can hear that. Hang on. Have you guys seen Mage Arena before? This is the trailer for it, obviously. Hang on. So, there we go. I don't want to break anything. All right. It looks like a dodgy game, but it had really good reviews, and I love the aspect that you yell out your I think you get to yell out your spells. Let's have a look.
For centuries, it has been debated which magical entity reigns supreme. Courageous and wise, the sorcerer wields their magics with grace and precision. Mischievous and conniving, the warlock wields its magics with terrible strength and brute force. Now, the time has come to put this debate to rest. You must pick a side and wield your voice to decide the fate of magic forever.
So I think, based on what I've seen, based on what I've seen, you get to just hang out with your mates, and I think it's a co-op game as well. Like, I don't think you can solo it. You have to at least co-op it with some strangers if you don't have any friends. And I figured it'd be fun. I think it's like 4 to 6. I think it's up to 6 players. It looks like fun. You remember the entire world layout of our server in my head, everything, our gameplay at that time, from like, geez, AMS, that's intense. That's awesome. I remember our base. I wonder how my trees are doing. Remember how I just started planting trees on top of my trees and then planting trees on top of those trees? Because I think Sefik, someone told me how to do that. Maybe Tides, I'm not sure. But it was lots of fun. Yeah, I would love to go back and see how those are going as well. That was a crazy time. That was a crazy time. And I never got down to Bedrock. I'd love to do that. I kept getting distracted looking at other people's places. I seem to recall Midnight. Was it Midnight that had a really cool place as well? Who had the Zephyr? Who had the dirigible, the airship up in the air, and you know, it was attached to their house. It was above their house. I can't remember who that was. That was fun. Harry Potter things. Yeah, it looks kind of like Harry Potter. It's just like, I think you're just a wizard. You run around, but all of your spells are voice command. Like, you get to yell them at people. But I don't know if that's going to... Yeah, it sounds fun. I'd love to have a crack. Midnight had the ship. Yeah, I thought it was Midnight too. Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah. Oh, Midnight, you're saying me. Oh, yeah, that was you, man. Have you guys been back at all? Or who's in charge of that server? Who was it that can open up? Can we get in there, or do we have to wait until someone opens that up? I have a feeling if it was someone, it was like Nasty or Tides, right? I can't remember who that was. But yeah, crazy. Hey, look guys, my phone's on 2%. I don't have a charger in here on quick charge, and... Oh, Tide, I just saw your Discord. He's live. Everyone, it's real. Thanks, man. My phone's on 2%. That's how I'm accessing the chat. I could probably get to the chat through the browser, but it's probably a good sign that I need to go to bed. It's 1:22 a.m. Sound off. What time is it where you are? Sound off. What time? Chat, what time? Yeah, I remember you made your base at the river. I remember that was really cool. 8:52, 18:22. I love the 24-hour time. 20:52 for midnight. So AMS is at 8:52. I presume you mean PM. 18:22 for Sefik. Okay. 8:52, same for you for midnight, same as AMS. Nice. And looks like that's us. Looks like Burger and King must have gone. But that's probably a good thing because they're in the same time zone as me. Which means they should definitely be asleep. And King, if you're watching this later on the replay, bloody hell, mate. I can't even be mad at you for not doing the right thing with your assignment because you're very similar to me in that regard. So I do hope you get something done though. And Burger, thanks for being a good friend and pushing him along, mate. Those are the kind of people that'll get him through high school by the sounds of it. But guys, thanks so much for coming along. It's great to have the gang back together. How crazy is it that we all live... Can we just take a moment and look at this through an old man's eyes, right? I'm not that old. I get that, right? But fellas, listen up. We live thousands and thousands of kilometers apart. Think about how many thousands of years humans spent just trying to figure out how to kill something without getting close enough to get stabbed by its tusks, right? That was the last paragraph of history that we figured out gunpowder. We're in the last sentence of the last paragraph of the last page of human history up to this point. It has taken us this long to get to the point where, how many people in chat? 5 people in chat at the moment, including myself, so 4. 4 people in chat who are thousands of kilometers apart who can just talk to each other. Does that not blow your mind a little bit? If it doesn't, fuck me, it's crazy, right? All right, with that boomer note, I'm going to have to finish for the night, but thanks so much, guys. I'm going to head off to bed, and I suggest that midnight and AMS, you probably need to as well at some point soon. You only have 2 hours sleep in 32 hours and you're still awake. Midnight, bro. Why? Oh, I hope you manage to get some sleep soon, bro. All right. Bye-bye, nasty stump. All right. Good night. Sleep tight. I hope you're enjoying uni, bro. I look forward to hearing a bit more about that at some point. Arabic sounds intense. Crazy. Game over. Ending. Game over. Night, you lot. Peace. I'll put up the schedule at some point real soon, within the next 24 to 48 hours, and we'll go on the schedule, okay? And then obviously the Discord. I've turned back notifications on for the Discord as well, so see you on the Discord, see you back here. Be safe,